Welcome in, sports fans. It's the Blue Collar Broadcast, Sunday Night Football. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. And thanks for tuning in and joining us while we are going to get this AFC tilt off the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Los Angeles Chargers, Jim Harbaugh against Mike Tomlin. Two teams that are well positioned to make the playoffs this year, as we are going to be taking this on in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Likely to be a home away from home for the Steelers, as the Charger fans are never really, well, I don't really know if there is such a thing as a Charger fan, as we're ready for the first kick, and here it comes, and it's a high arching kick, and that is just a terrible way to start the game as he kicks it right out of bounds. And it's really hard to imagine that this is a team coached by Jim Harbaugh, the hard ass himself. But this special teams really leaves something to be desired, as the opening kickoff goes out of bounds, and the Steelers going to start it at their own 40-yard line. As we get a look at their starting lineup here, but nothing really is going to matter outside of the quarterback, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, the Hall of Famer, first year in Pittsburgh, likely his last, number 8, as he prepares to do battle against the Harbaugh-led Chargers. Rodgers under center, single back is Warren, toss right, and he cuts it back, and we have a penalty on the first play of the game, and false start. Steelers take it back 5 yards, not how they drew it up. As the Chargers, as we still are kind of introducing everyone here, Chargers are 6-3, Pittsburgh 5-3. The Steelers defense, coming off a big win against Indianapolis, was pretty fortunate in the game to get 6 turnovers. It was a lot closer game than than you would imagine with 6 turnovers. And the Chargers had a tough little losing streak going, but they've kind of righted the ship. Should be a really good game. Some playoff implications here, as we're about halfway through the season. And 2 plays in, we've had 2 penalties, and we're seeing a lot of zebras in here. And this is well, let's just hope this isn't what we can expect. Is there's some clown over here talking to Rodgers and another one down here talking to DK Metcalf, and I just hope that the NFL knows that this isn't why we tune in to see middle-aged men in black and white striped shirts talking. We're here to play football. And while we're at it, why don't we get to the blue collar broadcast bets on the night? We're sitting on a little under 45. We were lucky enough to get that in on Thursday, and took a little stab at the Chargers -3. As we get our first look at Jim Harbaugh, and those glasses with Harbaugh are getting bigger and bigger. That prescription's getting mighty big down there. As we got bunch formation, we're ready to go here. 1st and 15. Rodgers in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks left. He looks right and kind of slides out, dumps it off to his running back, Warren, who breaks a tackle and is greeted right there, just shy of the 40-yard line. Jaylen Warren out of the backfield, going to pick up a few yards, be about 2nd and 10. And the one thing to remember about the Steelers offense, yes, they have Aaron Rodgers. He's having a great season, as documented there, 17 touchdowns and only 5 picks, but they have no explosiveness. They're at the bottom of the league in explosive plays. They rarely go deep. A lot of short passes, a lot of quick timing passes. Here again, tight formation, shotgun. Rodgers, quick pass over the middle. It's caught right there by Calvin Austin, and it'll be just shy, as they'll have 3rd and short. As we're 1 minute in here to the first quarter, 3rd and 4. Rodgers huddles him up. And again, look for that continued quick pass. The running game has been basically non-existent for them, as Rodgers breaks huddle and he barks out the plays. He's got them spread out. 2 and 2, two to the left and 2 to the right. Shotgun. Warren on his hip to the right as he takes a snap, looks left, and he's going to roll to his left, steps up in the pocket as he throws out to the left. Incomplete pass to Calvin Austin there, as Rodgers took a hit, and it looks like he wants a flag, but Aaron Rodgers always wants a flag, and it's going to be 4th and 4 as we get a replay of it right here, as the Chargers were showing the pressure off the right side, had man coverage right over the middle, and the pocket collapsed right in Rodgers' face as he kind of hurried the throw. just shy for Austin, and Pittsburgh's going to be punting from their own 45. Here comes the kick. Nice high arching kick, gets off cleanly down to the 10-yard line. Fair catch called for. It's taken at the 11, and that's where the Chargers will start as Justin Herbert comes onto the field. And is it me, or does Justin Herbert always look like he just woke up? I mean, he looks like he just rolled out of bed. And something to monitor for the Chargers offense is the lack of starting depth at the offensive line. They've had a lot of injuries along that offensive line, and it's kind of burned them as they've taken a lot of sacks. Herbert's taken a lot of heat. So let's see if they can hold up. The Steelers defense had a great game last week, and I think they had 7 sacks against Indy. As they have a tight formation here, Herbert under center. The handoff will go to Vidal, who cuts it back up over the middle. He's greeted at the line of scrimmage and only going to get about 1 yard there. Intended to go off tackle right and cut it right back up the middle, and the Steeler defense just converged on it as he's stuffed right there. As we get a look at Justin Herbert, 18 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, second in the league in the amount of touchdowns he's thrown. Not bad. The offense has been much better with Harbaugh and Greg Roman. We're 2 minutes in here, the first quarter, 0-0. Herbert, shotgun, trips left, sends a man in motion. He RPO fakes, and he's going to throw it out to the right to Johnson, who's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Nice play there by Eccles, number 26. The nickelback coming up and making the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Well done, my man. Really good work there. As we get another replay of it, Herbert rolling left, throws left, and just a nice play. I'm sorry, that was Trey Harris. Nice play by the nickelback coming up to make the tackle. And the Steelers defense has gotten gashed a lot this season, but they've been a lot better. Last week was the first time they really put anything together. As they're showing cover 4 here, trips right, Herbert in the shotgun, 3rd and 9, takes a snap, sets in the pocket, sets his back foot and throws out to the left, and Gadsden can't make the catch. A little too far out, and it'll be a 3 and out for the Chargers, and we're going to go punt, as Rodgers gets his helmet back on and ready to do some work. That's a good way to start it for under 45, as you got Porter working against the tight end outside, and I mean, I think Gatson needs to make that play. Hits him right in the hands. He can't collapse, close his hands. I mean, we know that guy can't block as a tight end. The least he could do is catch balls. I mean, what else is he doing out there? As we prepare for the punt, here comes the snap. Pittsburgh bringing the pressure, come right up the middle, but the punt gets away, and it's out just at midfield as it goes out of bounds. And you got some guy on the sideline that never plays who's pointing like he plays every play. And we could really do without that. And they're going to mark it at the Charger 47, so not a great kick as Aaron Rodgers comes out for his second drive of the day here. And looks like Rodgers got himself a fresh shave, finally got rid of that white stubble. It's about time there. So give us a second. We'll stand by for some commercials. Hang tight now. Welcome back, friends. SoFi Stadium, first quarter Chargers Steelers here. Looking for a salty game, looking for the under. As we are just a few minutes in here, second drive of the day for the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers brings him onto the field as he has trips left, sends a man in motion right. He's in the shotgun. 10 seconds left on the play clock here as he's going to go draw play right up the middle to Warren, who's got about 3 or 4 yards and is tackled right there. But they are darn near into field goal range already with the good field position. As we get a look at the Chargers defense, which has been pretty good for Coach Harbaugh. They've held up pretty well. They are in first place in the AFC West, and we'll see how they can fare today against Rodgers. Like I said earlier, they do not have a lot of explosiveness in this offense as they got the jumbo formation and 2 wide receivers left. Rodgers shotgun again, Warren off his right hip, and here comes a draw play again as he bounces it out to the right and is stuffed right there, and he is taken down right there by Henley, and it's only going to be a 2-yard gain. Denzel Perryman there, as it will be third and about 6 as Warren comes off. They'll bring Gainwell back on. There's Denzel Perryman working in the middle as we had the 2 tight ends to the right, and Perryman just hits the gap and wraps right up, and that's just textbook work right there. That is as good as it gets. Well done, Mr. Perryman, as he comes off the field. 3rd and 5 now. Again, shotgun, trips left, sends a man in motion to the right. He's got the 2 tight ends again. Gainwell off his hip to the left. Rodgers pumps his leg. He wants the ball. He looks right, stands in the pocket. He's got pressure as he rolls left. He looks deep down the center of the field, goes deep over the shoulder and overthrows DK Metcalf, who had a footstep on his man. He was past the safety there, working behind, and Rodgers isn't happy, and Rodgers is never happy. As Mike Tomlin, we get a first look at him. Here we go. Tui Pelotu off the left-hand side here, working against number 71, Jones. As Rodgers evades the heat, rolls out of it, and Metcalf was working up against the safety, and Rodgers overthrew him. Metcalf was a step slow. It's a field goal attempt out for Pittsburgh. And that kick is up, and it is good. And the Steelers are on the board, 3-zip. Nice long field goal there from Boswell. As we get a look at the hold. No wind, nothing going on in Los Angeles, of course. Boswell had been around, been doing it forever, and he is good by about 8 or 10 yards. As we look at their special teams coach, and that guy's been around since World War II, and he loves it. We're going to step aside for some commercials, friends, as we get a little update. Next week, we'll be in, looks like, Spain. I'm sure that game won't be great either. Hang tight, friends. We'll be back. We're back, friends, as we prepare for the Pittsburgh kickoff. As they took a 3-0 lead here in the first quarter. Here comes a little kick. Pooch down to the 5-yard line, taken there. It's received up to the 20s, up to the 25, 30, and just kind of stumbles across at about the 32-yard line. And that'd be number 38, Williams. And we don't bother to say his name because, well, it'd be the only play he has all night long. We don't really care, do we? So Herbert coming out for his second chance here. 3 and out in their first drive, and put a decent throw there on third down, but Gadsden couldn't corral it. As we got the bunch formation here, Herbert in the shotgun. Steelers showing single high safety. Herbert looks left. He's got a little pressure, throws deep over the middle, out over the outstretched hands of McConkey. Incomplete pass, just a little too far there, as McConkey cannot bring it in. He had single coverage and was behind his man. Herbert tried a little touch pass, just couldn't get it done. And it'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Chargers. A little pushing and shoving going on there, but not too bad. And that's Eccles again, the nickelback, working against McConkey out of the slot. He was all over him. That's good coverage. I mean, got a little bit of hands there, but they call that. They're calling everything. We got 4 wide receivers now. Herbert, shotgun. They're spread out. Trips left, sends Gadsden in motion to the left to chip, and here's a play over the middle. Caught by Quentin Johnson. He's close to a first down, up around the 40-yard line. Nice work out of the slot there, as they're going to call him just a yard short. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Nice to see them getting Johnston going in the early going, as Mike Tomlin says, yeah, I should have got some more sleep last night. As they're going to bunch it up here, nice and tight. Got the tush-push formation on 3rd and 1. Herbert, and it looks like he stood up there at the line. I don't think he got it. No way in hell. They cannot give him that. That's going to be 4th down. Nice effort, I guess. Not the, yeah, I don't know. As we get a look at Harbaugh's prescription again, and man, he says, let's go for it. I hate Mike Tomlin. He says, okay, Jim, we know how you feel. 4th and 1 now, as Harbaugh is still doing some mouth breathing. And man, oh man, I don't think Harbaugh can see very well because those glasses are mighty, mighty strong there. We're at 9 minutes here in the first quarter. Same formation, all bunched up, rugby scrum style, 4th and 1. Herbert barking out the cadence, trying to draw him off sides. Steelers disciplined at the line, 10 seconds left on the play clock. They go for it. The man comes over the middle, and I think he got it this time as he just leans forward. Joey Porter Jr. is jumping around in the back, but he wasn't even involved in the play. So there's just a mass of humanity there. We get another look at it. Everyone's bunched up. Mr. Matlock, the big fella in the back, just pushing and shoving, and he just drove Herbert straight over the line. And can't say that's my favorite play, but it is effective. Joey Porter Jr., maybe someone crunched his hand in there. Guy can't catch anyway, so that's all right. So 1st and 10, fresh set of downs now for the Chargers. Another tight formation. Jumbo, single receiver to the left. He brings McConkey in motion. Toss play, goes up the middle, and met in the backfield. He's only going to get 2 yards there for Vidal. Or no, that's Patterson. Nice job by the Steeler defense getting into the backfield quickly. And again, this is something to monitor with this Chargers offensive line. Completely banged up. I mean, their top 2 defenders are down. As we get, or blockers are down, as we get a look at Greg Roman, as he is going through the play sheet now and just crossing plays off because they are running out of blockers. 2nd and 9, trips left, shotgun formation. Herbert pumps his leg, calls it, steps. He's got pressure up the middle, throws back over the middle. Nice diving catch there by Gadsden as he's about 3 yards shy. It'll be 3rd and a short 3. Nice play by Gadsden there. Just a little curl route over the middle. Herbert stepped up in the pocket, hit him directly over the middle. Well done. Little 3/4 arm action. And Gadsden, after giving a pretty poor effort on the first pass thrown to him, made a nice play on that one. As we get a look at Oronde Gadsden, the 5th round pick. Trips left now. 3rd and 3. Herbert shotgun again. Sends McConkey in motion out to the left and then back to the right. Herbert takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle, and he hits Porter in the gut, and he can't catch it, and that's why he's playing defense as he covers his eyes up. And, well, he saw the ball coming and still couldn't catch it. So It's not like he did anything. The ball just hit him right in the stomach. And that's probably going to do it there for the Chargers as we get another look at this play. He was manned up against Keenan Allen. McConkey in motion. He checked off, and he didn't really even do anything. The ball just hit him right there in the chest, and he thought he was going to catch it, but, I mean, it hit him in the numbers. So the Chargers punting again from their own 48-yard line. Offense has been a little spottier in the early going. No running game. As we see the snap, and here comes the kick. A high arching kick down inside the 10. That's going to bounce to the 5 and be taken right there. Nice job by the Chargers punter to pin him down inside the 10-yard line. And that is where Aaron Rodgers and his crew is going to take over. They'll be inside their own 10-yard line at about their own 6. We'll step aside for some commercials. Hang tight, friends. Welcome back, sports fans, as we prepare for the Steelers to have another shot at the offense tied deep in their own zone. And if anyone out there wants any action, I am laying over 3.5 on the amount of times Aaron Rodgers will yell at one of his teammates. Too bad the juice on that's minus 180, but I'll give action if anyone's taken. Tight formation, jumbo formation here. Rodgers under center. Pitch out to the right. Goes to, who's that? Caleb Johnson. He's stuffed and just put down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Caldwell comes up to make the tackle. Nice job there. Toss out to the right and nothing going as he's met in the backfield with a quickness. And that'll be second down at about 13 as the big man comes off. We get another look from up top, sends a tight end in motion to the right. Pitch goes out to the right, and there's just nothing there. I mean, he just greeted in the backfield very, very quickly. And not very good blocking there by the tight end. As it is 2nd and 12. They're at their own 4 now. Rodgers in the shotgun. He's got 2x2, and he's going to draw play again. This time goes up the middle. Nice hard run in there by Johnson as he gets 4 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and about 8. I mean, what are you going to do tucked inside your own 10-yard line? You do not want to be turning the ball over down here as Johnson's going to come off. Good to see him get a couple of handoffs. I know a lot of fantasy geeks were high on this guy, and he's done absolutely squat all year. The guy barely gets to touch the ball. As Kenneth Gainwell comes in and they set him out to the right, Rodgers has trips left and isolated Austin up top on the right. He's in the shotgun here. 5 1/4 left in the first quarter. As he barks out the play, pumps his leg, he takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, feels the pressure, and he's in trouble. And Rodgers is going down in the end zone, and he's sacked, and it's going to be a safety. As Rodgers just kind of rolled right into the pressure, and Khalil Mack, the ageless wonder, falls on top of him, and Rodgers is lucky he fell on that one. But it looked like Rodgers kind of rolled right into the pressure as Mike Tomlin keeps smacking his gum and goes, man, my quarterback is older than me. Is this right? As we get pressure off the right side from Mack, and Rodgers just kind of rolled right into it, and the ball kind of popped out. He's lucky he fell right back onto it. Here we get a good look at it. Khalil Mack with a nice power move and then just swims right back inside and is all over Rodgers. And they're very fortunate that it's just 2. So it's a 3-2 game now. It's a baseball game here as Khalil Mack does a little celebration. Nice work from the veteran off the right side there, working one-on-one with the right tackle, getting in for the safety, and they're going to get it right back. 5:09 left here in the first quarter. And Mike Tomlin just looks up at the scoreboard and can only wonder, can I win with a quarterback that is older than me? As Boswell comes out to do the kick. And something to monitor here for the Chargers on offense is how can this offensive line hold up? Because like I said, they've been banged up. Their running game has been terrible, but this Pittsburgh defense has been getting gashed like crazy the entire year. They had a good showing against Indianapolis, had a couple of fortunate turnovers. They did get after Jones and get a handful of sacks. So if they can build on that, and that leads right into why we're looking at an under in this game, as Boswell kicks off from his own 20, and ball's taken at the 10-yard line, and it's cut up to the 25. Nice little move at the 30, and he's greeted there at the 35, and that's where the Chargers are going to begin their third drive here at the 35-yard line as we get these 19 O-line combinations. And this is a pretty accurate stat as we mentioned. There's been many guys in and out of this lineup that have been banged up, and their best linemen. I mean, that's the other thing that needs to be said is that Joe Alt is out. Was it Staley is out, but Mekhi Becton is out. Slater, sorry. As you get the run right up the middle there by Kamani Vidal is going to get chip off about 2 or 3. Tough running right up the middle. And expect this too with the Chargers to control the clock and slow it down. They are not an up-tempo team. So we get our first look at Mike Tirico. I'm good with Mike Tirico. Chris Collinsworth, he's got a spot in my heart. He's an old Bengal. We're okay with them. We just don't really want to hear Chris Collinsworth. And that's why you're listening to the Blue Collar Broadcast, is we have 2nd and 7 here. Chargers from their own 36-yard line. Herbert, shotgun, sends Vidal out to the left, and now he sends him back over to the right. He looks to the left, steps up in the pocket. He's going to run it. He's got 2 or 3 yards, and he takes a nice little pop right over the middle. Nice job by the Steeler defense to converge on Herbert. He does pick up 2 or 3, and it's going to be 3rd and manageable here as we are at 4 minutes now as Herbert yells into his mic and says, Greg Roman, give me my play. As Herbert has had to run a lot, and that makes a hell of a lot of sense considering he's got no offensive line. As we get a look at Jalen Ramsey back there, who's completely washed and is a total liability in the secondary. 4 wide receivers for the Chargers. Shotgun Herbert and false start there on the left tackle, and that is not how it works. As the zebra comes out and calls a false start, that'll be another 5 yards. 2nd false start there on them. And again, backup left tackle, Deculus there. Just moved a touch early. As we get the close up here, Highsmith working on him. And yeah, that doesn't do your offense any favors when you're in 3rd and long all day long after they've already punted twice. So Steelers drop back into coverage. 4 wide receivers, split 2 by 2. Herbert and shotgun sends McConkey in motion. He's got pressure over the middle, throws back over the middle. He threw it behind Johnston, and that's going to do it. And they're going to have to punt it away. Incomplete pass, 4th and 9, and the punting unit will come on. And pretty rough here for the Chargers in the early going. They might need to mix up some of this play calling. I mean, the blocking there held up okay as they brought, stunt and a little pressure around, but not a good throw. It was behind Johnston. I mean, it wasn't the greatest effort, but the throw was behind him, and the Chargers are going to have their third punt of the day here as Scott comes on, uh, kicking from their own 35-yard line. Let's see if he can pin him down in again. He had him in the 10 last time. Here's the kick is up and away. It's down at the 10, and it's received there. Taken up to the 15 to the 20, a little spin move to the 21, and that'll do it right there. Decent little return as Rogers going to come back out to do some work. 3-2, Steelers on top. They don't get burned by the safety as the baseball game continues. Hang tight, friends. We'll be right back. We're back, friends. Tail end of the first quarter here. Steelers, as we get a look at Rogers rolling right into a safety. Not ideal as he walks off, and no one to yell at but himself there as they go punt, field goal, safety on their first three drives. Fourth drive here, going to start around their 20-yard line. I mean, they're fortunate that the Chargers have absolutely nothing going on offense as well, as the under's looking mighty fine here. Rogers shotgun, takes a snap, looks left, throws left. Nice catch by DK Metcalf on the slant over the middle, takes it up to the 40-yard line, gives a little shimmy shake, and they're off, and they're moving quickly as we get another look at Metcalf working on the left side of the field, slant right over the middle. Great throw from Rogers, and little three-quarter delivery there from Rogers, and that's too easy for him as Metcalf picks up about 18 on that one. First and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Rogers trips left out of the shotgun. Handoff goes to Warren right up the middle. He's got 3 or 4, and he gets greeted again by Perriman with a big hit. And man, this guy knows how to tackle. Nice little tackle there from Perriman as he just stops Warren in his tracks. But not before he picks up a handful of yards. Perriman coming from the left side of the field all the way over to the right as he diagnoses the play and just hits the gap with speed and wraps him up. And that's how they do it, folks. That is absolutely textbook right there. Second tackle on the day for Perriman as Rogers is in the shotgun again. Warren still in there. Sends Austin in motion to the left. Looks to the right. Steps up in the pocket. Throws down the middle. It's caught again. And this time it's the big man, Washington, the tight end. Good throw from Rogers over the middle. And the Steelers got it going now as they continue to progress the ball down the field there across midfield. into Chargers territory, and another little post route right over the middle. The big man, Washington, the big tight end, as he slips right in behind in the zone. And man, oh man, 24 years old, third round pick in 2023 out of Georgia. Big, big man right there. 300 pounder as Rodgers. 5 seconds left on the play clock, a minute 15 here at the 41 of the Chargers under center. Toss go out left to Warren. He cuts it back up. And another cut move. He's got about 7 or 8 there, and he's going to have 9 yards as he's tackled right before the first down marker. And it'll be second and short for the Steelers. And they got it going now as they go jumbo out to the left-hand side. Toss goes out to the left. Nice little seal block there by Washington, and nice cutback by Warren as he cuts it back up in the middle. But look at this against Tui Pelotu by the tight end. That's good work out there, and it helps when you're, the size of an offensive lineman. You can do that. Again, another jumbo formation, single back. Rodgers under center, 2nd and 1. 5 seconds left on the play clock. 4, 3, as he is going to take a timeout with 1 second left. And we'll pause right there. 25 seconds left in the first quarter as Rodgers looks around. He looks miffed. And when does he not look miffed? Again, he's got some serious yard duty energy, that Aaron Rodgers there. As we get a look at Bo Derek at the game. Wow, Reggie Miller. Man, he looks like he hasn't aged in a long time. Mookie Betts there. It's nice to see him hitting them beers, man. The guy couldn't get a hit in the World Series. There he is, Dan Fouts. All right. Not bad. Troy Polamalu. Yeah, whatever. Snoop Dogg is there. Yeah, no one cares. Oh, my God. As Rodgers is just yelling at everyone in the huddle, just says, get it together now. And again, Rodgers with the yard duty energy here. 2nd and 1. Same formation, jumbo, single back. He's under center. Single, Metcalf out to the left. Here comes a handoff right up the middle for Warren. Nice little jump step there, and he gets 2 or 3, and he's going to have the first down. Nice, tough run in there by Jaylen Warren to evade the tackler in the backfield and just kind of hop forward for a first down as Harbaugh looks on in disbelief, mouth open, eyes just set afar. And I think I think Harbaugh's blind. Honestly, I don't think he can see anything. Those glasses are ridiculously big. As we come to the tail end of the first quarter, in a pretty salty game so far, 3-2, safety for the Chargers, and a field goal for Pittsburgh. Not a whole lot of offense just yet, but Steelers on the move. We're going to step aside for a couple commercials. Be back. Hang tight, friends. Welcome back, sports fans. Beginning of the second quarter here as the Chargers or the Steelers are on the move now, deep into Charger territory. And they got a little something going here as we get a look at the Charger Hall of Fame. And that's great. We get to look at the owner there who's got some blue horn rim glasses, which is not a good look on an old man. We'll come back to that. Steelers at the 29. Rodgers shotgun, 2x2. The little dump off to Fryermuth, the little tight end screen, and he's going to have himself about 9 yards as he's just right outside, just inside the 20-yard line. It'll be second and very, very short. They set up that tight end screen. And of course, in Los Angeles, there's far more Steelers fans than there are Charger fans. As we get a look at Fryermuth as he chips a little bit, does a block, and sets up the screen and just plows his way forward for 9. Rodgers under center, sends a man in motion to the right. That's Jaylen Warren, then back out to the left as he resets, and here comes Warren again. Handoff goes up the middle. It's Johnson again cutting. Nice running by the rookie there. He's got about 7 or 8. First down, but there is a flag. And at the very least, we can say there hasn't been a whole lot of flags. And as I say that, we got a nice little holding call on the Steelers. It's going to move them back 10 yards. And man, it's not how you draw it up when you're inside your opponent's, in the red zone and you're holding. But I guess that's how that hole got so big, as we get an up close and personal now. And you wrap the guy around the neck. Nice call there by the referees. And when the guy throws his hands up after he makes a block, you can guarantee that's a penalty. So 2nd and 10 now. 3-2, Steelers on top. 1 minute expired here in the second quarter. Rodgers surveys the field out of the shotgun, has Warren off his right hip. He's got a wide receiver split out to the left and right. Sends one in motion back out to the right as he looks deep down the field and throws down the middle. And he's got a man. And that's going to be Jonnu Smith with a nice catch up at his ears as he had to go high up there. Nice catch by the tight end as he was just off the sideline. Nice work. Kind of bobble it around a little bit. And did he come down with it? Ooh, I don't know if he secured it. They might want to take a look at it. Very, very close. Here's a nice look from Big Brother. It looks like it might have hit the ground. And maybe Coach Harbaugh is going to want to take a look at that one. I imagine all these teams have a guy that's telling them yes or no, but really close. As we've gotten 8 looks at it already from Big Brother, you figure they would know by now whether or not it happened. And the challenge flag is out as the referee's going to stop the game for us. Big Brother's going to take a look. And the throw was high. Jonnu Smith kind of arching back to the left, went up, made a decent effort at it. More and more commercials. I've seen this wicked commercial about 8 times already. Man, we'll be right back, friends. Hang tight now. And we're back, friends, and it is an incomplete pass as Jonnu Smith was unable to corral it. He went up for it. Throw was high as he was leaning towards the sideline there, came down and just ricocheted off the turf. 3rd and 10 now at the 31 as the Steelers moving backwards here. Trips left, single man to the right, sends Gainwell into the slot off to the right. So 5 wide receivers for Rodgers as he pumps again. Steps up, quick throw out to Gainwell, and he just tackled right there. Well done, Charger defense, as the safety comes up to bump him out of bounds, and that's going to make it 4th down, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal. The Steelers were on the move there and had it working, but great job coming up there to make the play. And the holding call just completely took the wind out of their sails as Boswell comes on, as he's 1 for 1 on the day in field goals. Here's a 45-yard attempt. As he prepares himself, here comes the snap. Hold is good. The kick is up, and it's curving right, and it's no good as he pushes it right. And it's going to remain a 3-2 game. And man, now we get a look at that guy who's smacking his gum, or red man, or whatever kind of chaw he's got going over there. He ain't so happy now, is he? As we get another look, and it just kind of hooked on him. He just pushed it. And man, I don't know if there's a old jet stream up there or something, but just pushed the ball to the right and just missed it out there. As we're going to get some few seconds for Amazon to try and steal some of your data and sell you something at the same time. AWS is how Disney Plus ensures showtime every time. That's great. As Justin Herbert comes out and breaks huddle. And let's see if the Chargers can get some offense going here. Been pretty poor in this first half. As the referee stands in to break anyone's flow. And now we're going to play as Herbert's under center. Single back. He calls the fullback over, I formation, 2 wide receivers. Quick throw out to the right. It's taken right there. And Kenny beat his man. Nice tackle out there by Slay to hang on. The quick pass went out to Trey Harris to the right. They do pick up 5 or 6, kind of like a long run, but good tackle nonetheless by Slay. As Mike Tomlin just kind of seems to have that same look. He just kind of seems to be almost like he doesn't know what's happening out there. Herbert, 4 of 8 on the day, 19 yards. Offense has been non-existent for the Chargers. Bunch formation. He's in the shotgun, brings Harris in motion, sends him back to the right, pumps his leg. He's got Vidal in the back. Quick throw out to the left now to Quentin Johnson. He makes a quick move, and he's going to have a first down at about 10 yards there. Nice play call by Greg Roman there. And you would expect the Greg Roman / Harbaugh offense to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but it has been anything but. It's been a lot of throws and a lot of quick throws, and really smart idea considering the offensive line is completely in shambles and Herbert's on his back the entire game. As we look over at Rodgers, and he just looks upset again, and he's just talking to anyone that'll listen, and he just looks like a really unhappy guy. 1st and 10 now, 3-2. Tight formation here. 5 wide receivers, shotgun. Herbert, pressure coming up over the top. He throws to Johnson, but too high. Slay was on him, tight coverage. It looked like that play never had a chance. They showed pressure up the middle, they being the Steelers, and he had single coverage over on the right. Slay one-on-one with Quentin Johnson. And Herbert just kind of overthrew his man, but Slay was all over him. Good coverage there again by Slay. And maybe Herbert should look another direction. Haven't called Keenan Allen's number at all today, as Jalen Ramsey is just hanging out in the backfield or in the secondary thinking, man, I hope they don't throw it towards me. Herbert, shotgun, trips left, draw play up the middle, cuts it back to the right. Vidal's going to have himself a first down. Nice job there, 12 yards. Kimani Vidal, tough running right up the middle there. Nice little cutback. As we look at Harbaugh and I think he might have gotten a new prescription in between the first and second quarter. And there's a man down for the Steelers, and I say, roll him off the field and get him out of here. It's Darius Slay. If he's hurt, make him be hurt on the sideline. Let's stop wasting time here. As Harbaugh talks with the referee, and they're laughing, and the referee goes, man, those glasses of yours, what kind of prescription is that? Because your eyeballs are huge. As Joey Porter, the cornerback, was hanging on for dear life, and looks like he just took a helmet to helmet there, and maybe if he knew how to tackle, he wouldn't have been cracked like that. Who knows? But Kimani Vidal took him for a ride, and he's still on the field, and they need to get that soccer thing going where they get the little stretcher out there and just throw him on it and just take him off the field and just keep playing because, well, he's just wasting everyone's time right now, isn't he? And we're just sitting around and staring at guys that, there's enough commercials in this game already, and they can attend to that man on the sideline. He's obviously going to have to come out for a play, so why not just tend to him on the sideline? And he walks off, and it's good to see that he's okay. I think it might be more his pride that got hurt because he just had another grown man take him for a ride, which is pretty embarrassing. As Pierre comes in, and let's see if they go right after him. I mean, Slay's had decent coverage so far today. I know he's late in his career, but he is their starting cornerback. So we get another look at Steven Duggar there, safety, come over in a trade recently. And the Steelers defense so far has held up good today. And they coming off a big, strong performance against Indy and a big win last week. As Herbert is ready to work 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line, Steelers 40, jumbo formation, single back under center, play action. Herbert rolls right, throws right, and it's caught right there by Gadsden and bumped out of bounds by Ramsey, but not after he picks up 5 or 6 yards. And it'll be second manageable here for the Chargers. As they come back to huddle up, we get a look at TJ Watt working off Herbert's right side here. And he gets chipped by the tight end Gadsden, which good job there by Gadsden. He had a problem with that against Minnesota in the Thursday game. Herbert, shotgun, and jet sweep out to the left, and he's going to cut it back up, and he just gets body slammed there. Number 42 picks him up and just gives him a little WWE body slam. He gets checked and says, "What? Don't try that around here. Get that out of here." Mike Tomlin, maybe he missed the play. Doesn't even look like he's really too interested. We get a look at some Steeler fans in the crowd now, and they seem to be fired up as we get the replay of the suplex there, and that's a nice little World WWF play right there. Got nothing wrong with that. As Pierre, the new man coming in, makes the pile drive. 3rd and 2, Herbert shotgun sends McConkey in motion to the left and sends it back to the right. Trips right. Looks like he's got Patterson in there in the backfield, and it's going to be a draw play right up the middle, 1st down and a few yards more. No, it was Vidal, nice running again up the middle, and that draw play out of shotgun formation seems to be working over and over again. The RPO, just keep handing it off each time, and it's working. And Rodgers, again, yard duty energy, not happy, has a towel out and looking around like, oh, man. As Keenan Allen's on the sideline, and that is unexpected as he is playing second fiddle to Trey Harris now, not getting many snaps. Herbert, under center. Again, the bunch formation. Jumbo, single back. At the Steelers 25, Herbert, play action, throws down the middle. He's pressured. No, he's going down. Herbert's going to be sacked for a loss of 5 as Steelers brought the heat. Herbig off the end, picks it up. He pump faked, looked like he was throwing down the middle. But the Steelers brought the house on that one, and Herbert is limping. And this is, again, something to monitor as that Chargers O-line working with a lot of backups in there. As we get a look at Herbig working off the right side. The big man, Matlock out there. It just blows right by him. Right tackle can't do much, and he comes up to make the sack. Thought Herbert would have got rid of it. Close to being one of those little hip drop things there. Drips right there for the Chargers. Shotgun. Johnson, single man to the left. Herbert hangs tight in the pocket, throws over the middle. It's caught by McConkey. He's got a 1st down inside the 15-yard line, down to the 12, working against Eccles, the nickelback. And, man, McConkey out of the slot. Really nice work there by Herbert to recognize it. And Herbert's got a little noticeable limp going now as he checks and then looks quickly to his right and hits McConkey on the slant right over the middle. Eccles tries for the punch, can't get it done. And the Chargers are in business. 51 yards passing now for Herbert as they are knocking on the doorstep to take a commanding lead. Well, not quite commanding. 14-yard line. Fakes a toss out to the right. Looks back left. Throws left and dropped. And right there, and it's Gadsden with the drop. Low throw, but figure you got to catch that one. As Ramsey comes up, and Ramsey likes to talk a lot of mess when No one does anything. As Harbaugh is still breathing out of that mouth, and man, we got to do something about that. Coach Harbaugh is looking a little old over there. As Ramsey, the lone safety over the middle, did not bite on the play fake, came up quickly on the pass, and just kind of bumped into Gadsden after the play. Not sure what that's about. 2-by-2 again for Herbert in the shotgun, pressure coming off the right side, and he just lofts it up into the end zone, and Gadsden missed it. He didn't see it as he was working one-on-one with the linebacker Wilson, and it looked like he had a step. Herbert is on the ground again, and he just overthrew it. Looked like Gadsden didn't see it as we see the pressure coming from the left. And man, Highsmith just kind of rolling up on his leg there. Oof. Tom Brady gets that call as Herbert goes down again, and I imagine it won't be the last time. Harbaugh is upset as Herbert now shotgun, tight formation again, pressure shown again. They drop back in the zone. Herbert's got time, and he throws over the middle, and it's incomplete off the hands of McConkey and almost intercepted there. Man, that was close. McConkey was running an out route. Throw was a bit high off his hands and hit the safety right in the hands, and he couldn't come up with it. And McConkey's short, but man, you figure he's got to have that one. As he had it, but no. And they are really fortunate that that is not a turnover there, as Duggar could not dig it out of the ground. And that'll bring out Dicker, the kicker, working off the left hash mark here. 32-yard chip shot for him. He's ready. Here comes the snap. The hold is down, and the kick is up, and it's good. And the Chargers are going to go up 5-3, and the baseball game continues now as we have 7.5 minutes left before the half. As the 6-3 Chargers are up a safety on the 5-3 Steelers. 5-3 the score. We're going to stand aside for more commercials. This movie Wicked must be really, really wicked because they show it every time. Hang tight, friends. We'll be back. We're back, friends, and what's turning out to be a really, really salty game. And this under is looking good so far. 5-3. Chargers up on the Steelers. A couple of field goals and a safety, and not a whole lot of offense otherwise. Did seem like the Chargers kind of figured something out with the quick passes there on the last drive, and also similar from the Steelers in their previous drive before it stalled out. As we get the kick on down to about the 3-yard line, it's taken there up to the 20. He runs into the back of his own man at the 25 and steps outside. Looks like that was Gainwell. And why not run into your own man? It's getting a little chippy out there, and why not? I mean, why not? As they show the hip drop by Herbig, and pretty sure that's illegal. Is now they're looking at Herbert's knee and or his ankle, and that's not good. That is not. It's not how they wanted this game to work. As they got the training staff over there, as the Lebowski's over there to talk to Herbert and tell him it's all right, dude. And Rodgers on the field, his own 28 shotgun trips right. Sends Gainwell out 5 wide now. 7 seconds left on the play clock. He yells at everybody, takes a snap, pressure coming up the middle. He steps up, and Rodgers is just greeted right there. Nice little jig by number 48 on the sack dance. As Rodgers goes down, Rodgers stepped up and tried to move and look to his left, and big number 48 was right there in his grill. Just gave him a little crack back on it. Here we go. Nice look at Rodgers. Looking right, steps up. He didn't have Freiermuth over the middle, and bam, he just got cracked as big Bud Dupree comes out. Nice hit there. It'll be 2nd and 11 after the sack at the 27-yard line. Shotgun. Handoff goes to Gainwell over the middle. Nice cut to the left as a safety comes up to make the hit at the 30-yard line. Or Dayon Henley, the linebacker, off the left-hand side. As Warren had a little something going there. It looked like he might get stopped in the back, then cut it out outside off the left tackle, and then just got popped right there as he got to the second level. Had the guard pulling with him over to the left, who made that kick out block, and then nice tackle, man, oh man, way to just close on the play by Henley. And he really stuffed Warren before he can get any more. 3rd and 8 now. Shotgun again as he sends Gainwell up to the line right off of the tight end's hip. Rodgers takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, looks deep down the right, and he throws deep, and he's got a man, and nice play out there. 46 just dumps it out. Reed with an outstretched hand knocks it away. Well done by Reed, and Rodgers had his man. Not a bad throw, just a little bit more on that, and they're going to be in business, but they're going to have to punt away again as Reed, working in the slot off the right, was manned up with Austin as he makes a dive. Is right when he turns. That's just really good defense there by number 46 to get that done. The pressure coming on the kick, but it's away, and it is up, and it's a good one, and it's down to the 20. Fair catch called for there, and it'll be taken at about the 19-yard line as the Chargers back on the field. Steelers defense going to have to come back out with the quickness, and we're looking at all the smog in Los Angeles and Dodger Stadium. Empty now, thank goodness, as the Dodgers just won the World Series, unfortunately, for all of us. We're going to step aside for a few. Hang tight, friends. We'll be back. Well, we're back, folks, and unfortunately, it's the snoopification of the United States of America as he's holding up stats, and wow, it's just I don't know what happened to this to our culture, and this is where we are now, and it's really unfortunate, actually. Thank God the sound's off. Herbert in the shotgun. Handoff goes to Vidal, and he cuts it to the right, and he's got a little something. He's got 12 yards there. Kimani Vidal, tough running, and that play seems to be working now for them. And that guy is running hard, pretty damn good for a third string running back. As Collinsworth now tries to do his best Snoop impersonation, and yeah, we're really going downhill now. As he and Tarico are really starting to laugh about this, and what we should be laughing about, well, let's not. 1st and 10 from their own 30. Herbert takes a quick snap, throws it out to Johnson to the left. He's got a couple yards there, and then he's just going to be swarmed by the Steeler defense after a pickup of about 3. And no Keenan Allen in this game. Doesn't seem like he's getting much run anymore as Jalen Ramsey's there. And if you didn't know, Jalen Ramsey is completely washed. We'll see. I mean, I'd be throwing at that guy all day long, but we'll see. Joe Flacco tore that guy to shreds, but he does have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, so Justin Herbert doesn't really have an offensive line, and he doesn't have receivers of that caliber. But shotgun again here, 2nd and 7, trips right. Vidal in the backfield, pressure coming off the left-hand side. Herbert steps up. He's going to get rid of it, and he throws out the outstretched hands of Gadsden. Incomplete passes. Herbert's on the ground again. He just kind of rolls his eyes in disgust as it looks like a holding call on the Chargers. And this is not ideal if you're a Chargers fan here. As the referees out here again, holding on the Chargers. At least I can say that they are staying out of our way for the most part. 75 Bozeman, the center, is going to get called for this one. As the pressure came over the middle, and I just think that's not a very good call. I mean, he had a hand on the guy's chest, but again, if you're calling that, you're going to call damn near every play now. 2nd and 17 here. Herbert shotgun pumps his leg as he calls for the play fake. Vidal in motion. He tosses it out right to him. Vidal's got about 5 or 6 or 8 yards there. Comes up the big contact from Ramsey, and he absorbs it. But that's going to be 3rd and short now. Nice pickup there. He sent Vidal out in motion to the right, and just a quick throw out to him on the right as Aaron Rodgers is sitting there talking to a couple of tools on the Steelers bench, looking at them going, do you know who I am? Do not talk to me. And Vidal, nice play there. Good blocking out there on the end by McConkey, and the lead block up there by Harris. Trips left here, shotgun, 3rd and 4. As Herbert, he's got Keenan Allen in the slot now. Pressure coming off the right-hand side. He steps and Herbert's under pressure, and he goes down there as the big fella, number 95, comes in. After the pressure came off the right-hand side, Herbert stepped up in the pocket, but good job by the Steelers there to bring pressure. And now Mike Tomlin looks a little happy as we get a look at some idiot Steeler fans in the crowd. Here you go here. Pressure off of Herbert's right side. He steps up to avoid it, and the defensive tackle just kind of slid right through on a second effort to corral him right there and take him down. And the Chargers are going to have to punt it away again as we're inside 3 minutes now. 5-3 game. Here comes the punt. It's up and away. Return team is back on it. Fair catch called for about the 22-yard line, and the Steelers will take over there. And been a lot of punts in this game. Handful of sacks, some shoddy blocking, a lot of quick passes. As we get a look here now, as the Chargers try and keep pace with the Broncos, who are 8-2, and the Steelers are up top, but they better watch the surging Ravens now. The Ravens are getting healthy, and the Steelers, I mean, they had a great win against Indianapolis last week, but I don't know about this team. They're questionable. Aaron Rodgers is, well, he's older than the coach, and now he's in there yelling at all his guys, telling them, "Do you know who I am?" As the Charger defense is on the field and ready to do business here. 3 minutes left in the first half. Rodgers under center, 2 receivers left. He's got the single back. Looks like Gainwell, or is that Johnson back there? Brings the man in motion over to the right. 5 seconds left on the play clock as Rodgers continues to bark. Toss goes out to the right and cuts it back up. It is Jaylen Warren. Sorry, he's got 2 or 3 yards there. It'd be 2nd and 7 or 8. And both teams seem pretty content to take their time here, as this looks like it's going to be a grind 'em up game. As we get some replay on this run, not much going there. DK Metcalf, 19 yards receiving on 1 catch today. Pretty quiet. Been a lot of quiet for everyone. Freiermuth in motion to the left. Rodgers working out of the shotgun. He's got trips left. Takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle. Oh, he overthrew his man and it's picked off there. And it's coming the other way. Number 27, as he is tackled right there. But nice job, Chargers. Overthrow by Rodgers. He had the post route down the seam, but he overthrew it. And here comes the worst part of football, as grown men come together to act like little girls, as it's Mickens with the interception, the free safety. Here we go. Metcalf working on a post right up the middle, and he just overthrew him and he threw it right into Mickens' breadbasket. And that time he didn't drop it. And it's nice to see a defensive player make a catch, hit him right in the chest. Just a bad throw by Rodgers, and he can't believe it. And I'm sure he's looking for someone to blame this on. I'm sure he'll find someone too. As the team selfie goes together, and there's nothing that says contact sports like grown men getting together in front of a camera to take a selfie and dance together, as Rodgers continues to disappoint here today. Herbert now at his own 38 brings the big fella into the backfield. Handoff goes to Vidal. He cuts it up over the middle. He's got 7 or 8 yards again as he's wrapped up from behind, but not after he's got 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and short. And Kamani Vidal has got something going, and running out of the shotgun like that, it's really seeming to work here for the Chargers, as that's going to take us down to the 2-minute warning. We get another look at Jim Harbaugh's prescription glasses. Man, oh man, it's really getting dear over there, as Rodgers shakes his head as he walks off the field. We'll step aside for the 2-minute warning. We'll be back in a few, friends. Hang tight now. Second and 3. Handoff goes to the left. Vidal cuts it back up, and he's got another first down here. Man, some tough run from Kimani Vidal, and they got something going with this little guy here. Third string running back, running really, really well. As Metcalf's over there going, you only threw me the ball twice, and it's not going to work. As Harbaugh is looking over his play sheet there. A minute and a half left in the first half. 5-3 Chargers on top. As we get a look at Vidal's work, 11 carries, 52 yards, not so bad. The Chargers on the doorstep of the red zone here. Tight formation, shotgun. Herbert, quick throw out to the right, one-on-one, and Johnson makes a first man miss, and nice tough running out there by Quentin Johnson. He's got about 7 or 8 yards as he takes it down to the 20-yard line. Well done. As we get another look at Darius Slay, who took some helmet-to-helmet contact, and he is out of here. And they're walking him to the locker room that'll end his first half. We'll see if he's okay. Herbert working quick again. Quick throw out to the right to Gadsden. Bumped out before he gets the first down. It'll be third and about a long one. As we're inside a minute, 49 seconds left in the game. Harbaugh looking on in amazement, still with his mouth open, as Rodgers does not seem happy. He's only got 50 some odd yards passing in the first half. And it looks like this turnover by Rodgers could come back to haunt them. Chargers on the doorstep, but they're going to take a timeout. First one of the half on 3rd and 1. They're going to step aside and talk it over. Not a bad idea. Be a big momentum swing if they're able to get some points on the board here. As we get a look at TJ Watt, 0 pressures on 16 dropbacks. Nice to see the tight end pushing him out a little bit as you get a late hit on Herbert. Almost was able to get that one. And yeah, I mean, they're chipping him, and they should. He's their best defensive player. It's not a surprise, as they tell us what we already know, that TJ Watt is going to be chipped a lot, and he should be. And that is no surprise. Every team in the league is going to do that to him. Guy's a great pass rusher, obviously. 3rd and 1, inside a minute. Big Cam Hayward there off the side, having to get some wind there. And it's Harbaugh, likewise, mouth breathing on the side. Shotgun for the Chargers, trips right, sends a man in motion to the left, Keenan Allen. Allen on the slot, pressure coming off the left-hand side, and they draw a play to the left. Nice cutback by Vidal, and he's got the first down. Good call on 3rd and 1. Little draw play to the left on the sweep with the guard pulling for him, and they're going to get the first down. Again, they are comfortable running that play. 62 total yards now for Kimani Vidal, having a nice little game. 30 seconds left as they hurry it up. Herbert in the shotgun, 24 seconds left. 4 wide receivers, 2-by-2. Here comes the play. He throws to the right, and kind of a slow-moving play as it hits Keenan Allen in the chest and is knocked down, and that's Pierre out there working on him. Hit him right in the chest, and contact forced him to drop it. 2nd and 10. Not a terrible result, as the clock will stop. 2 timeouts left for the Chargers. Herbert kind of double clutched it, then threw it over to Keenan Allen, and seemed like his arm got wrapped up when Pierre came and made contact on him. So it'll be 2nd and 10. They are at the 16-yard line of the Steelers. Herbert shotgun again, sends Keenan Allen out to the right. Calls a play, and he looks, throws over the middle, and it's going to be a touchdown. Ladd McConkey over the middle, a little post route right over the middle, working out of the slot, and that play has been working all day. McConkey gets in the end zone, and the Rodgers interception comes back to burn as it's 11-3 now. Let's see if they go for 2. McConkey takes the ball off. 7 plays, 38 yards in just under 2 minutes. 12 seconds left in the first half, and that stings if you're a Steelers fan, as the Rodgers interception burns him on that one. But no, Dicker the kicker coming out for the PAT. And we await the snap. The hold is down. The kick is up, and it's good. 12 seconds left in the first half as the Chargers go on top 12-3, 15 total points. And man, that under's looking mighty fine now. As we get a look at Herbert working out of the shotgun. Here comes a touchdown play. Little post route from McConkey. Too easy as he burns Eccles he fakes the out move and then just cuts it right back in all day long there for Herbert. Too easy for him. Jalen Ramsey coming over late, which he is prone to do. And the Chargers are up by 9 now. Nice move by McConkey there. As he fakes the out route, just breaks it back into the center of the field. And Herbert finds him easily. So not much time left for the Steelers to work here. We'll see if they can get a good return, or maybe the guy will kick it out of bounds and they'll just need one play to get the, potential field goal. 12-3, salty game here. No offense in this game. Here comes the kick from Dicker as he just pokes it on down there, and that's going to be a touchback. As the Steelers are going to see what they can do with 12 seconds left. Rodgers comes out on the field, does not look happy as he tells everyone in his huddle, do not make eye contact with me. And Rodgers is going to huddle up. Steelers going to start it off at their 35-yard line. Left hash. I mean, one big play. They have 2 timeouts. They could get into field goal range. What is that? You only need about 20 some odd yards. Boswell. I mean, most of these guys are good from 55 plus nowadays. So Chargers playing well off here. Got man coverage up on the left. 2 safeties deep. 5 receivers for Rodgers. He takes a snap, steps up in the pocket. He's got pressure. He rolls out to his left, and he's going to throw down to the left. And that one's almost intercepted and almost caught there by Wilson. Nice little laser beam throw by Rodgers. Tough play. Good coverage there. And 1 second left. And let's see if they just huck it up into the end zone here on a little Hail Mary. Rodgers got plenty of arm to make that throw. As that'll be about a, 65-yard throw. 2nd and 10 now from their own 35. Everyone's looking at Rodgers like, you're the one who threw the pick, dude. And Rodgers yells at everyone in the huddle and just says, just do what I tell you and do not look me in the eyes. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Looks like they're going to run out of time and have to call a timeout. And they call it. The snap is there. It's good. Quick pass, incomplete to Austin. And that's going to be the end of the first half. And that's a first half that the Steelers are going to want to forget. Did they get a timeout? It looks like no time came off the clock. Did they give him a timeout? Derwin James is walking back. It doesn't seem like we're done here. And they're going to give him the timeout, huddle up. 1 second left on the play clock, or on the game clock. Again, 12-3, Chargers on top, and what has turned out to be a very salty game thus far. Rodgers ready to work. Everyone way back here, and we have another flag or stoppage. It's going to be a timeout by the Chargers as Harbaugh doesn't seem to know what's going on. He looks bewildered. Derwin James coming up and just yelling at everyone. Says, do not let this old man beat us. And nor should they. Mike Tomlin ready for a nap, ready for halftime. Probably eats a couple of PB&Js to get himself a little shut-eye at halftime. Can't say I blame him. As we're going to do it again here, Rodgers in the huddle, yelling at everyone, telling them, do not look me in the eyes. He is ready to go here. 3rd and 10, 1 second left on the game clock from their own 35-yard line. He has 3 wide receivers. And it's going to be a quick pass out to the right, and that's going to do it. And we are going to halftime. Not really sure what we did there, but the catch was made by Wilson, and that's it. That'll be halftime. We're going to step aside, be back in about 15 or 20 minutes for the second half. Hang tight. We'll get a bite to eat, and let's hope we can catch that under in the second half. Hang tight, friends. Second half coming at you, sports fans, as the Chargers take the kick and it goes up to the 30, 35, about the 33-yard lines. Williams with the return, and that is where the Chargers are going to start the second half, as this is a 12-3 game and not much offered in the way of offense from the Steelers as we get the second half interview with Coach Harbaugh and his glasses, and he just says, "Listen, I'm telling you, this prescription is getting to be a little much for me. I'm doing my best over here. I'll breathe out of my mouth, and I'm doing my best to see what's going on. But I don't really think much of Aaron Rodgers over there. You know, he's a past his prime, and he just doesn't really have much left to offer. And I think that we can absolutely shut this man down, and that's what we intend to do in the second half. We're going to bury that man. Best of luck, coach." As the Chargers are going to start off their first play with a false start, and it's going to be 1st and 15. Not how you like to start off your first drive, as the fullback trots off the field, and hopefully he gets an earful because that's unacceptable. Like I said, 12-3 the score here. Nice little drive by the Chargers at the end of the second half to punch one in after the Rodgers interception. As they do the tight formation again, Keenan Allen in motion over to the left, Herbert out of the shotgun. 1st and 15, he pumps his leg. It looks like the guy might have jumped, might be a free play. Throws over to the left. The ball's batted. And is it intercepted? I don't know. But there's a flag on the play. Looked like offsides on the left-hand side. I don't know if that was TJ Watt or Highsmith coming off the edge. Looked like he was a little bit early. Number 56, yeah. And here we go. It's going to be offsides. And that 1st and 5 gets erased. It'll be 1st and 10. As Highsmith jumped, tried to time the snap coming off the left edge, and was just a touch early. But all Herbert could do was get the ball batted down by the big man, Hayward, as they're going to go under center now with Herbert. Single back is Vidal. Sends Fisk in motion, brings him into the backfield, and they fake the pass, and it's going to be a draw play. Nice tackle up the middle there, as Vidal hit the line of scrimmage with a full head of steam, but was just stuffed right there after a gain of about 2. It'll be 2nd down in around 8. Vidal had some good running there, hit some nice lanes. A lot of it was out of the shotgun on draw plays. He was able to crack a couple of them and cut them back up the middle. And he had about 60 yards rushing in the first half, which is not bad. 2nd and 8 now. Herbert working out of the shotgun again. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Vidal in the backfield off his left hip. Here comes the snap. He plants his foot and throws, and it's knocked down right there. And that was TJ Watt that time, as that pocket just collapsed on him. Herbert hung tight in the pocket, but everything just converged on him in the middle, and just the ball gets knocked down. It'll be 3rd down and 8. As we get a look at Watt working off that right side, as he cut back in, tried the little move, and man, nice job by Watt to get up and knock that one down. Herbert, 5 wide receivers, pressure being shown up the middle. Here comes the pressure. He plants and throws over the middle, and it's caught right there. Keenan Allen's got about 16 or 18 yards right there. Nice job by Herbert on 3rd and long to connect with Keenan Allen. First catch of the day. Been real quiet for Keenan Allen. Been losing a lot of snaps now to the youngin, Trey Harris. Makes sense. Keenan Allen's an older player, but here he goes working off the nickelback Eccles in the slot. And he just cuts a little slant right over the middle of the field as Ramsey comes up to make the tackle. And nice work, Justin Herbert, to find his big man, Mr. Reliable, as they are at the 48-yard line now. Jumbo formation in. Handoff goes Vidal right up the middle, and he's greeted at the line of scrimmage, and just everything collapses right there. It's going to be no gain on the run. Nice job by the Steelers defense to collapse that middle and close up any gaps through the middle. As Tomlin saying, "What I miss." 2nd and 10 now. And this is what we would expect from both of these teams, to be honest. Just taking their time, no rush here. As we're, a couple of minutes in now, as they got bunch formation over to the left, 2 receivers right, sends Gatson in motion to the right. Herbert takes a shotgun, steps up in the pocket, throws down the middle, and it's going to be dropped. Oh, man, Quentin Johnson hit him right in the middle on the in route as Porter comes over. Oh, no, it's Pierre filling in for Slay. Nice job. He's been in on a few plays. Good job working in relief of Slay as we get the big brother view. Gatson goes in motion to the right. Vidal comes up to pick up the blitz. Herbert hangs tough and throws, and you need to make that catch. Hits him right in the chest. Pierre didn't really do anything. He's knocking his hands, but that should be a first down. And Quentin Johnson needs to make that catch. Shotgun again, trips right, one man out to the left. Steelers showing pressure up the middle. They don't bring it. Herbert steps up in the pocket. He's in trouble, and he goes down again. Man, he rolls right, but Highsmith working down the line takes him down. And nice job there by the Steelers defense. The pressure was on Herbert. It was consistent and not much to do there. They benefited from the drop from Quentin Johnston, as we should see TJ Watt working off the right side. But really, it's Herbert sliding to the left and Highsmith kind of stunted back all the way around, and nice work working down the line, not giving up on the play. Chargers going to have to kick it away inside 12 minutes. Here comes the punt from Scott, his 5th of the day. High punt, deep down to the 10-yard line. Fair catch called for, bobbled, and he's going to take it there at the 8. Nice kick by Scott as Rodgers comes out, and he's just staring people down. He's looking for somebody to yell at, as he's wont to do. As we get a look around Los Angeles, and not a Charger fan in sight. I don't even think those things exist anymore. Kind of makes you wonder. Well, it just makes you wonder. Anyhow, more commercials, friends. We're going to step aside for a few. Hang tight now. We'll be back for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. 1 second now. We're back, friends. Back to LA, the city that never sleeps. Just don't get caught there at night. Not a safe place to be. But that's a completely different story, as we are waiting the first drive for the Steelers in the second half, as Aaron Rodgers had a very, very quiet first half, and the interception at the end of the first half, which turned to the only touchdown that we saw, as Rodgers taking his sweet time to bring the Steelers to the line. 12-3 score here, 11:45 left in the third quarter. Tight formation, two receivers left. Pitch goes out to the right. Pressure coming up the line. Nice jump by Jaylen Warren. He's got about 14 yards there. Well done, my man. What a run that was. As someone rips his jersey and just kind of rips down. Looks like he's got some toilet paper hanging down his leg here as he goes up and over the cornerback. What a hurdle. Man, Olympiad. That was really, really nice right there by Jaylen Warren. And not good tackling there, number 20. I'm guessing Coach Harbaugh is not going to be pleased with that as he just throws a lazy little shoulder, and that's not a formed tackle, and that's just not good enough. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Jumbo formation again. Everyone stacked at the line, single back. Handoff goes up the middle. Warren cuts a couple ways, and he's going to have another 5 yards. Nice, tough running again for Jaylen Warren. And Steelers moving the ball out of their own zone, as it'll be 2nd and about 5. Nice, tough running by Jaylen Warren as his torn shirt is wrapped around the back of his legs. Kind of a funny look as they have the multiple tight ends in again with DK Metcalf isolated out to the left. And are they going to have to burn a timeout? No, we have an injury on the field. Big man down. And again, where's the stretcher? Just get him on out of here. As we look at his shirt getting ripped, which really doesn't matter at all. The real highlight was the hurdle, which was a really nice play. Really nice individual effort. But I think they should just get the little soccer stretcher out there. I'm sure a 300-pound man's kind of tough to come up with. But if he's hurt, just deal with him on the side. And the big man's off and is just going to walk off the field gingerly. And it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Trying to get something going. The offense has been non-existent today. Aaron Rodgers has not looked sharp. Had a couple of decent runs here and there as we get another look at the hurdle. And that's just a terrible job by 20. And I'm guessing that they did not teach him to tackle like that. I certainly hope not, because that's embarrassing. But it looks like Aaron Rodgers is ready to go. He breaks a huddle and he yells at his left tackle and says, "Do not address me. My name is Sir." Jaylen Warren still in the backfield. DK Metcalf out to the left. It brings another receiver over to the left. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Rodgers in the shotgun, takes the snap, handoff, goes to Warren again. He breaks it over to the left. A little spin move. He's going to be stuffed right there at about the 30-yard line. It's going to set up a 3rd and short. They're still bouncing around, but I'm guessing forward progress stopped it. And why wouldn't it? As we get a look at the draw play there. Warren bounces it out to the left, tries to go off the left guard. And we keep looking at his torn shirt, which means absolutely nothing. But apparently they're really into it. And Warren's going to step off the field. Maybe let's just cut that off so we don't have to look at it anymore. 3rd and 2, it's going to be from about their own 30-yard line. Rodgers working out of the shotgun. Gainwell in now. Trips left. Metcalf isolated out to the right. Gainwell goes to Rodgers' right side. And we have another stoppage. And now the referees seem to want to be involved. We have a flag. And what's happening? Mike Tomlin wants to know what happened. Timeout. Offense. Okay. So they're going to call timeout on 3rd and short here. 3rd and 2 from their own 30-yard line. As the big man's getting wrapped up. A lot of tape getting used over there. Mike Tomlin looking around going, what are we doing? 9:28 left here in the 3rd quarter. 12-3. Chargers on top. Khalil Mack. Justin Herbert talking to the big Lebowski over there. He just shakes his head like, dude, get out of my face. And we are just about ready to go here after the short timeout. Rodgers in the huddle, yelling at everyone. But Rodgers is currently under 3.5 still on amount of times yelling at teammates. Trips left here. Shotgun brings Gainwell over to his left. Austin now out to the right, isolated. 3rd and 2. Brings Metcalf in motion over to the right. Pumps his leg. He takes a snap. He looks right. He plants his foot, steps up. He's got heat, and he's going down, and Rodgers goes down. Man, Tui Pelotu off the right-hand side just collapse the line. They do a little team dance and another sack for the Chargers. The old man goes down. And Steelers are going to be punting again. Here we get a good look at it. Rodgers steps up in the pocket. Tuipulotu just cuts it back into the center after working against the left tackle here. And Rodgers nowhere to go. He tried to roll out a little bit, but nice work, Tuipulotu, to get the sack. And 4th and 5, the Steelers are going to have to kick it on back. Here comes the kick. The punt is up. And it's a high arching punt. Nice hang time down to about the 28's taken right there. And he's going to go down at about the 35-yard line as number 10, Wilson, is in there in his face chirping. And Wilson's a wide receiver. He plays a little bit, but most of these guys are just so pumped to be on the field that they just can't contain themselves. And there's usually a block on the back. And now it's getting a little chippy, and this is what we expect. Let's go. Let's get it going here. Game been pretty boring, been not a whole lot going on. As Wilson gets up and gets right up into his grill and says, "What?" And, number 12 pushes him back, rightfully so. And they're going to call it against the Chargers. And, yeah, okay, block in the back. All right, on number 58, Mr. Wax. And there usually is a block in the back on every punt. Not entirely sure why. It's almost like these guys don't entirely know how to play the game. But, yeah, we've come to expect it. We're going to step aside for a couple commercials. Hang tight, friends. We're back, sports fans. Third quarter. Chargers getting the ball back after the punt, but there was a block in the back, which is going to move them back a little bit. See if they can get something going now. They are just inside their own 25-yard line here. Herbert under center. Wide receivers split out. Got the I formation going. Sends the tight end in motion to the left. He takes a snap. Play action. Steps up. He's got pressure. Throws down the middle. It's complete right there to McConkey, who breaks it out to the outside. He's at the 41-yard line. Nice play. Chargers. Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey just gets open, and all you got to do is find him. Here he is right here, working out of the slot. Head up against Pierre, who's in for Slay. Chips him right there at the presses him at the line, and then drops back into the zone, and just right inside the zone, McConkey gets open. Tight formation here for Herbert. Sends a man in motion, fakes the end around, and goes straight to Vidal, who's got a hole, and he's going to have 12 yards there. Big tackle right there by Duggar. Could have saved more as Porter goes down and Mike Tomlin looks like he has gas. He is not a happy camper. They brought everyone over to the right. He fakes the end around going back to the left, and then just the draw, the trap to Vidal back to the right. And Vidal's just starting to chew now, as he's had quite a few runs, 8, 10 plus yards, as Porter goes down. And again, where is the soccer stretcher? Get that man off the field, get him onto the sideline, and let's go. As they're feeling his hands and stuff. Hopefully he's okay. Not entirely sure what happened. I mean, he took a hard hit to the ground, but that is Joey Porter Jr. there. But let's just roll him off the field and get him the hell out of here, and let's continue to play ball. Next man up, as he walks off the field, and maybe it's just a bruised ego as he throws his helmet to the side and says, "Damn it, still can't tackle." And everyone goes, "Yeah, it's okay, man. Good job. Just sit down and shut up for a little bit, okay?" As the training staff walks him over and just goes, "Yeah, yeah." Shotgun for Herbert. 1st and 10 now as they cross midfield. 3 receivers left and empty to the right. Sends a man in motion. Draw play again. Goes up the middle. Vidal cuts a couple of times. He's got about 8 yards there. And man, oh man, starting to turn into a hot knife here for Kimani Vidal. And this is really working now for the Chargers. And every time it's right up the middle. Draw play, 84 total yards now for Vidal. As that play is there consistently over and over again. McConkey and Johnson out to the right. 2nd and 2. Herbert under center. Single back. Bunched up to the left. Sends Johnson in motion. Handoff goes to Vidal. And he's going to be stuffed right there. Nice work. Herbig up to make the tackle in the backfield. Really well done to collapse the line there. And he was into the backfield with a hurry. And that's going to make it about 3rd and 5. Well done, Steelers. Good job collapsing the line and just plugging up gaps as we get a look at Herbig working off the left side. And he just breaks right through the trap. Terrible effort there from 74 pulling down the line. He just missed his block. That is just, you don't see that every day. Jumbo or tight formation, shotgun. Steelers showing pressure. 5 seconds left, 3rd and 4. Herbert has time, throws, and it's batted at the line. And man, oh man, it's the 2nd time that Hayward has done that. And Herbert doesn't look stoked, and he shouldn't be because that was not a great effort. 2nd time he let that big man. That guy is absolutely enormous. Cam Hayward. I mean, that guy is gigantic. How do you miss him? Just every time he's done it. There's a pressure coming off the left side. Hayward and Highsmith just gets his big mitt up there into the air, and it's the 2nd time he's been able to knock that ball down. 4th down, and it looks like they're going to try a field goal. This is a long one here. 4th down and 4. They got Dicker, the kicker, out here, 59-yarder. Here comes the snap and the kick, and it's off the right side. It looks like it might be good if it's long enough, and it is good. He got it. 59-yarder from Dicker, the kicker. Nicely done. Herbert likes it. Would have liked the 1st down a little bit more. Snap down, hold good. Dicker, the kicker, off the right post, hooks it over. Nice little draw in there. He gets it, the 59-yarder, and Tomlin still has that indigestion. Shouldn't have eaten those chili dogs at halftime. It's going to be 15-3 now, and it's like a Colorado Rockies game. We're going to step aside for a few. Be back in a few. Hang tight, friends. Welcome back, sports fans. Nice little highlight here from the long field goal, 59-yarder. Would have been good from 60 something as Harbaugh jumps in joy and says, "Yes, man. Yes." It looks like he won the Super Bowl, Jim Harbaugh. Calm down, big fella. As the kick is taken at the 5-yard line. And nice little cut back to the 30, 35-yard line. And that'll end it right there. And that is where Aaron Rodgers is going to take over. As there's another flag, because there has to be a flag on every special teams play because these men don't play enough to know what is going on out there. And it's always holding, it's always a block in the back. And it's almost like we should just do away with the entire thing. Trey Sermon with the block in the back, well done. Not really. And we're going to look at some of Khalil Mack earlier in the game, getting some hits on Rodgers. And who doesn't like to see Aaron Rodgers get hit? I know I do. As we see Khalil Mack working off Rodgers' right side. Here comes the safety right here, poked the ball out and then just fell on him. And Rodgers working at his own 18, needs to get something going here. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Play action, rolls to his right. He throws right. He skips it into the ground to Jonnu Smith. Good coverage. He was covered up the entire way. That play looked doomed from the beginning as he faked a handoff and just kind of bootlegged out to the right. And Rodgers does not look happy. And, ask yourself, when was the last time Aaron Rodgers looked happy on a football field? I'm guessing it was sometime in, the early 2000s, sometime back in Wisconsin. 15-3 Chargers on top. As we were prepared for 2nd and 10, Rodgers shotgun, 2 receivers right or left, one out to the right. He's got Warren in the backfield. 2 seconds left on the play clock. Here comes the play. Pitch out to Warren, who stutter step back up to the middle. He's hit another stutter step, but the Charger defense is just swarming now, and they are all over it. Warren's had some nice runs. He's had some nice individual efforts, but every time that run's coming, they are just collapsing down on the line. As we get a look at Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, trying to steal some signs over there, cover his mouth, and just going, hurt somebody. Get him. 3rd down and 8. Harbaugh, mouth breathing, looking for another prescription, as it looks like they have the dime coverage in here. 4 receivers. Rodgers, shotgun, 3 receivers left, 1 out to the right. And is it another timeout? Are they going to burn another timeout now? What is happening? Harbaugh looking on in amazement. Mike Tomlin's talking to somebody. No, it's Chargers timeout. Still going to be 3rd and 8. Mike Tomlin looks, like I said, he just looks like he has indigestion. I mean, he really looks like he ate like 3 or 4 chili dogs at halftime and just did not sitting right with him, like Frank Drebin, like he needs to go use a porta potty or something. As we get a look at the little pregame here, Rick Minter, Mike Tomlin saying, "Hi, how you doing? That's great. Yeah, all right. Yeah, good to see you. I can't wait to kick your ass today. Yep, come say hi to him. All right. Okay. Bye-bye now. Best of luck to you. Yep, we're going to bury you today. Yep, just smile for the cameras." And we're ready to do it here. 3rd and 8. Shotgun, 4 wide receivers, 3 out to the left, 1 out to the right. Gainwell in the backfield. Chargers got the dime in there. Rodgers steps up, throws it over the middle, and nobody's there. He's looking for a flag. He wants a flag, and it doesn't look like he's going to get it. Rodgers wants a flag, and he's going, "Let's go." And he looks up. He's not going to get it. Everyone's got their hands up like, "I didn't touch him." He was looking for DK Metcalf in the slot. DK Metcalf looks up. His visor is too dark to see anything. He looks like he's having a hard time seeing the Jumbotron. DK gets pressed by James, and yeah, I guess they probably could call that. James came up to make a tackle before the throw came, and the Steelers going to have to kick it away again with 5:15 left. Here comes the kick. Big, high arching kick. Fair catch called for and taken right there about the 36-yard line. Number 12 is just going to skip off the field. Chargers might have got away with one there. And Rodgers not stoked. He's got about 60 yards passing on the day and the interception. We're going to step aside for a second for more commercials. Hang tight, friends. We'll be back. We're back to LA, third quarter, as the referee in the booth is going to come up and tell us what he thinks. And yeah, that probably should have been a call. That's a bad no call. I mean, he breaks his route off to the inside, and Derwin James just comes up and hits him before he does his route. And Rogers is going, seriously? And he's got a point. 35-yard line. Handoff goes up the middle. Vidal, he's got about 6 or 7 right there before he gets collapsed on. It's going to be another 7-yard gain and a nice, tough running. Kamani Vidal's having himself a nice little game here. Good, tough running right up the middle. As we look at, Gadsden take a knee right off the thigh right there. That is not going to feel good. He's going to be over on the sideline. Not good. Joey Porter Jr.'s back, though. Nice to see him back in. As the Steelers, it's getting late early here. Another handoff up the middle to Vidal. He cuts it outside. Nice tackle right there as Duggar comes up from the secondary to make the tackle. Well done by the safety playing low in the box to come up and make that tackle in the backfield. It's going to be 3rd and long. And this game's just scooting along here as we're inside 5 minutes. Jalen Ramsey working all alone up top as Duggar just crashes down in. And Keenan Allen missed the block. I mean, a lot of missed blocks today. Tight formation. Here comes the pressure off the side. Herbert moves up, and he's going to run for it, and he's got it, and he's got a lot more. Herbert across the 50 and slides at the 44-yard line. Nice recognition by Justin Herbert to just tuck it and run. He saw it, and he took it. He took advantage of it. Aaron Rodgers looks on in disgust. Here's a nice look at it. They have the tight formation. Herbert in the shotgun. He steps up as the line comes behind him, and he just runs right by everyone, picks up about 16 or 17 yards, goes into the slide, doesn't take any damage. Well done, Justin Herbert, as they are across midfield at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 now. Herbert under center. Jumbo formation again. Handoff again to Vidal up the middle. It's Patterson, this time. He's got 3 yards, and another flag comes out. Guessing this is probably going to be holding again. Let's see. As the referee comes out to call it, and it is going to be holding on the offense, and it'll be 1st and 20 now. Hate to see it, but again, Mekhi Becton that time, he's not a backup. I mean, Harbaugh cannot be pleased, but then again, I wonder if Harbaugh can even see this action. So, something to think about. 1st and 20 for the Chargers. 3:10 left now in the 3rd quarter. Herbert under center again. Patterson in the game. 2 receivers left. Sends a man in motion over to the left. Here comes the play action. Herbert throws it to the tight end screen. He cuts it back up. He's across the 50. That looked like a trip there. Number 42. That was kind of a weird looking tackle. It looked like he just swung a leg up there and tripped him, but it works, especially when they don't call it. 2nd down now. 2:40 left. As the man in motion fist that came over to block and just a little tight end screen. He just takes it right there. Cuts it upfield. Oh, no, it was a nice shoulder. Good job by Pierre to make the tackle there. As the jumbo formation, number 42 and 44, the big fellas are in there. Now you got trips wide. McConkey in the slot, shotgun for Herbert, 2nd and 13. 7 seconds left on the play clock. Herbert pumps his leg, calls for it. He steps up in the pocket. He's under pressure, and he goes down. And he wants the collar, but he's not going to get it. Highsmith looked like he grabbed him right around the collar of his shoulder pads, and he's got a sack. That's going to be 3rd and long. Here's a good look at it. I mean, I don't know. I thought the horse collar was from behind, but with these rules nowadays, no one knows. But both these quarterbacks now are just asking for flags all over the place. And this is starting to turn a little NBA action, kind of like every guy wants to, get fouled for something. As they keep zeroing in on Jalen Ramsey, and he did the same thing that Derwin James got away with. Steelers showing pressure. Here it comes up the middle. Quick pass over the middle is caught, and they're going to take it down to about the 36-yard line. It'll be 4th down. There's that Conklin. Quiet day for him so far. As Harbaugh looks like he wants to go for it now. 1:12 left in the 3rd quarter. Mouth breathing, looking on. I don't know if Harbaugh can see the game, but no. Dicker the kicker is going to come out. And that'll be an easier field goal than a 59-yarder, that's for sure. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Plenty of time for him to square this one up. But it is still going to be a long field goal, 55 yards. Here comes the snap. The hold is good. The kick is up. It's hooking left, and it's off the upright, and he misses it. Man, oh man, 4th and 2. Coach Harbaugh decides to go for the field goal, and Dicker, the kicker, cannot get this one to go down. So it's going to remain a 15-3 game. 45 seconds left here in the third quarter. Nice view up here from Big Brother as he just doinks the left upright. And I'm sure Harbaugh wishes he would have gone for it now. As the special teams coach, looks like, again, he fought in World War II, and he's got his chaw going over there. He's happy now, isn't he? 12-point game. Hang tight, friends. We'll be back. We're back, friends. Just about done with the third quarter here. As we get a look at Dicker, the kicker, Aussie rules, as he smiles. Nothing to smile about now as the Steelers are really good field position at their own 45. Rodgers under center, tight formation, single back is Warren. Handoff goes to him up the middle, and he cuts it back to the 25. And across the midfield to the 45. Nice tough running again by Warren as the hole just opened up for him off the right side. Nice play call there. 33 seconds now. And wonder if we're even going to get another playoff here before the fourth quarter. You figure they'd want to hurry it up here. Down 12, need 2 scores at minimum. 2 receivers left in the shotgun. 20 seconds left for Rodgers. Warren still there off his right side. Here he comes. He looks left, throws over the middle. Nice tight throw as that one's corralled by Pat Freiermuth. And he's going to be about a yard shy. Quick little post route or slant route from Freiermuth off the left side. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. And what's turned out to be mighty salty game here. Harbaugh still mouth breathing, still needs another prescription. Mike Tomlin still has indigestion. Too many chili dogs at halftime. 15-3. As Harbaugh looks like he won the lottery right there, man. And that was a field goal. Man, hang tight, friends. One more quarter left. We'll be back. We're back, friends. Fourth quarter, beginning of the fourth here. 15-3. Chargers on top. Tight formation for Rodgers. Single back. Here comes the handoff to Warren directly up the middle, and he's going to have the first down on 2nd and 1 as they're going to be in to about the 33-yard line of the Chargers, and they're on the move. They need 2 scores, and they need it quickly. I mean, there's time, but as we get a look at the Ron Jeremy lookalike, Miller, terrible head coach. Still don't know if he is an offensive coordinator or not. As Rodgers goes under center. And he barks to everyone. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Sends a man in motion. Single back. Got the tight formation going here. Play action. He steps up and throws it out to Warren. And he evades the tackle in the backfield. And he's going to have himself a first down, a little bit more. Nice, tough running by Jaylen Warren. He's down to about the 13-yard line. Looked like the Chargers almost had him right at the line of scrimmage. Mike Tomlin likes it, but Mike Tomlin should look at the scoreboard because not been a great game. Derwin James up in the box as usual, working off the left side of the line here, comes up to try and make the play, and you can't arm tackle a man up that high. That is not going to work. He tried to evade the block around the side, and tough angle. That's not going to get it done. And a nice gain there from Warren. Steelers in business now at the 15-yard line. Tight formation again. Single back, jumbo. Rodgers under center, sends Austin in motion. Keeps him there. A handoff comes up the middle again. Jaylen Warren got about another 5 or 6 yards before contact. It'll be second and about 5 yards. Nice work here. 13:20 left in the fourth quarter. As we look at Jalen Ramsey, completely washed. Will likely get cooked the next time he's on the field. As Rodgers in center, yelling at everyone, telling him, do not screw this up, or it's going to be your ass. Tight formation. DK Metcalf in the slot left. Single back is Warren. Rodgers under center. Barks out the play. Sends a man in motion right. Quick slant. No, he fakes it and throws it and just spikes in the ground. Play was just blown up. And Rodgers is not happy. And that's another. He's just yelling at everyone. He's unhappy. And when isn't he unhappy? As Mike Tomlin looks up at the scoreboard, talks to the special teams coach and says, why are you here, dude? This is regular football. Man in motion, goes over to the right. And it just looks like a broken play from the beginning. Rodgers looks like he wanted Metcalf off the left-hand side. It wasn't there. He just spun around, just spiked it in the ground and threw it. And he's just yelling at someone, like always. Shotgun. Trips left, sends a man in motion to the right. So he's 2-by-2 now. Gainwell in the backfield. 3rd and 6. Got to have it here if you're a Steelers fan. Here comes the pressure. Rodgers steps up, gets rid of it, and he overthrows his man. Gainwell went up for it, but it was too high. Rodgers ends up on his back, and it's going to be 4th and 6 now. And what do you do now? Field goal, no good. That makes it a 9-point game. You got to have it here. 4th and 6. Mighty salty game. The under is looking like the best bet of the year so far as Rodgers just threw it high. Not a great throw from Rodgers. He overthrew the little man, and Rodgers did not want the contact. And looked like that's why he rushed his throw. And here comes 4th and 6. Rodgers shotgun, trips left. Metcalf isolated out to the right. Here comes the snap. He looks to Metcalf and throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Is there a flag? Metcalf wanted it. There was contact, and they don't get it. And that's going to be it for the Steelers. And their night of woes continues as they're going to turn it over on downs deep in the Chargers end zone or field position. Metcalf working there. I mean, that had no chance. I don't know. The cornerback looked back on the ball, and Rodgers, you can do some lip reading as there's a lot of F words in there, and that's how Rodgers rolls. So we're going to step aside for some more commercials. Hang tight, friends. We'll be back for the Chargers. back about a second late there, friends, as Quentin Johnson got the first down for the Chargers. We're going to get a look here at the fourth down play as Rodgers just flicked it out there. I mean, could have gone either way. Let's see, they're at the 10-yard line inside there. Press there. I mean, yeah, they're not going to call that. First and 10 Chargers. Tight formation. Handoff goes to Vidal up the middle. He's got 2 or 3 before he gets met by 4 Steelers, and that'll stop the play right there. Forward progress as the seconds just continue to tick away. And the Steelers, we mentioned it at the beginning of the broadcast, kind of a paper tiger. We don't really know how good they are. They did have the big effort defensively against the Colts last week. A little fortunate. They did get after Jones and got some sacks, but they got 6 turnovers and won by just a touchdown. They got carved by Flacco. I mean, this team does not have the looks of a first-place team, especially with the Ravens getting healthy. Herbert in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers. He steps up in the pocket, rolls right. He's looking downfield, and he throws down to the right over the head of Keenan Allen. And that's not going to get it done. 3rd and 6 now. That'll stop the clock. 11:08 here. I mean, it's just a 12-point game. 2 scores, not out of the question. As Jim Harbaugh continues to talk to upstairs and say, man, I can't see a thing. Can you guys tell me what's going on out here? My glasses. I need a new prescription. As DK Metcalf doesn't seem too interested. Not having a good game either. And they're giving us Keenan Allen highlights. 1 wispy catch on the day for 12 yards as he split out to the left. Herbert in the shotgun, 3rd and 6. Here he goes. He looks Allen's way, plants, and he's going to throw over the middle. And that ball's going to be caught by McConkey, and he's out. And he's passing 50 to the 40, 35, 30. Foot race down to the 25, cuts back, another cut, and he's going to be tackled right there at about the 15-yard line. And man, oh man, little lad McConkey almost broke that one off. Great throw from Herbert. And that would ice this game in a major, major way. Really, really close. Nice job, Herbert, sticking in the pocket. Finds McConkey. Oh, wow. A lot of contact. I swear to God, he closed his eyes there, and it just rolled into his breadbasket. Look at that. He wasn't even looking at it. The helmet is like 3 times too big for his little head. Look at this little guy go. And he looks up and says, yeah, I wasn't looking, man. Oh, wow. What a play for the Chargers as they're down deep into Steelers territory. McConkey's looking. And here we go now as they're going to move quickly. Herbert, shotgun. Draw play again to Vidal. Cuts it over to the left, and he's got a seam to the outside. Cuts it back, and he's going to have another first down. Nice, tough running. Kimani Vidal, who's having a great game, and he's been probably their best offensive player so far as he got himself another first down. He's got to be nearing in on 100 yards rushing. Really tough rushing by Kimani Vidal. Nice work breaking that one outside. Noticing that he had a hole and just popping it out there and getting it done. And there you go, 101 total yards. 1st and goal Chargers looking to put this one away. Lad McConkey's laughing on the sideline. Greg Roman's just going, man, this Steeler defense is terrible. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Shotgun again. Vidal still in the game. Herbert takes a snap and he hands off again to Vidal. Off left tackle. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, and way to pay him off. 1st and goal. He just runs it right in. It looks like the Steelers just completely caved, and that's going to do it as reality is setting in Pittsburgh, and Aaron Rodgers is up, and he won't talk to anybody. Nice job, Kimani Vidal. Nice, tough running here. Again, running out of the shotgun, right up the middle. Little draw play there as he goes off the left guard and just buries number 94, puts his head down, and well done, my man. That is just a good job. The big pulling guard around the side, and the Chargers just continue to outclass the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, I mean, it's been a pretty salty game. The Steelers defense hung tough as Dicker puts it through. It's going to be 22-3, and that'll about do it on this game. And another look at that. Another primetime game that just not very great. Great play right there, but the Steelers just did not offer much in the way of offense. I mean, outside of the first drive, that was about it. As we're going to step aside now, and it's formality at this point. We'll see if Rodgers can mount anything and at least try and put some points on the board. We're going to step aside for some more commercials, friends. Hang tight. We'll be back. Welcome back to LA, friends, as we get a look at, well, the freeway doesn't look too bad down there, does it? I wouldn't be caught dead walking around that town, though. Best of luck to everyone down there. 22-3, Chargers on top, as this game is all but over. 9 1/4 left, fourth quarter, as the kickoff is fumbled and then taken right there at the one. It's Gainwell right up through the seam, and he makes a move, but he's tackled right before he gets to about midfield. Nice work from Gainwell as we prepare for Aaron Rodgers to take the field. And we get some highlights for the Kansas City Chiefs, and everyone's well aware of what they do, and we don't need to talk about it, to be perfectly honest. Denver Broncos may be in lead. We'll see about that. There's a lot of game left. There's a lot of season left, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We get to look at some kid in a diaper and a little helmet and a crown there under the lights. That's great. Your parents put you up to that. They should be incarcerated for that. First throw right there to Metcalf as he catches it there, about a 7-yard gain. They're going to move quickly here as they're down 3 scores. Rodgers hurrying it up, barking out the play, yelling at everyone, say, "Do not look me in the eyes and call me sir." Trips left. Metcalf isolated out to the right, puts Gainwell out to the right. Here comes the snap. Rodgers, he's a pressure, throws to the right to Gainwell and throws it out of bounds, but there's a flag that comes, late flag coming from the secondary. That's probably going to go against the Chargers. Probably the first call is going to go Aaron Rodgers' way, but let's see. Illegal contact, holding, defense, automatic first down. And that'll help Rodgers. 8:48 left. They need 3 scores now. It's going to take a miracle or an act of God. I guess they're the same thing. As Metcalf working alone up top against Hart. And they're going to call it this time. That's interesting. That's probably just a makeup call for not calling it earlier. As Rodgers 10-22 on the day, 96 yards and a pick. And that's just not good enough. Not if you want to play against real teams. They are at the 46-yard line, just about to midfield. Rodgers got 5 wide receivers in the shotgun here. 7 seconds left on the play clock. Steps up in the pocket, throws, and it hits right off of Austin's hand. And it's going to be picked off there and returned to about the 40-yard line as he steps out. As that's Mickens there on the interception. He hit Austin right in the hands, ricochets off his hands, and here you go. Grown men doing a selfie together, and they're going to dance, and they're going to take a picture together, a team picture, like they are an 11-year-old girls soccer team. Still can't get used to that in a full contact game, supposedly played by men. Slant play, hits Austin in the hands, and just ricochets. That's just not acceptable. And I would not want to be Calvin Austin right now, having to go back to the bench to talk to Sir Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't look happy, and he's going to be a lot less happy once that man gets a hold of him on the sideline, because Aaron Rodgers is infallible, and he is going to tell you how good he is, and that's just not good enough. First and 10 Chargers at the 39-yard line of the Steelers. I formation. Here comes a handoff, goes directly up the middle. Vidal's got about 4 or 5, and now it's just going to be clock chew time for the Chargers. As we get a look at the updated standings here, Chargers are going to go to 7-3. Chiefs are 5-4. Broncos 8-2. As the Chargers now, they are 3-0 in the division. Again, still got to play everyone another time. Lot of season left. Slow your roll. 2nd and 7. 8 minutes left. Herbert breaks huddle. He'll be under center. Calls out the play. He's got trips left. Sends a man in motion to the right. And the handoff goes to Vidal up the middle, and he's met right there after a gain of about 2. That'll do it. Chew up some more clock as we're inside 8 minutes now. And Mike Tirico and Collinsworth are loving it, and they're laughing. And they're going, man, oh, man, I never worked for a guy as mean as Aaron Rodgers. Can you believe the way that he talks to them? I mean, have you ever worked for anyone that makes you call them sir like that? And he goes, you mean like that? Yes, just like that. I have, in fact. Yes, I have. And Collinsworth continues to go on about Aaron Rodgers and says, man, I just would be this far away from him at all times. I would not deal with him. He is that big of a jerk.
And Tirico looks on in amazement and goes, man, well, we are almost done here. Shotgun for Herbert. Pitch out to the left to Vidal. He cuts it off left tackle. He's going to have another first down as he stays in bounds. Well done, and just falls down. But there is a flag. And let's see if it isn't holding. Bring that play back. And it is holding. And it is against the Chargers. And that's going to make this a longer third down. As we said earlier, but has not come to hurt them tonight. The Chargers' offensive line is full of backups, and they've done a really good job. They've actually made a lot of holes for Vidal, who's had a great game on the ground for them. So well done by the Chargers' offensive line. You know, you got a bunch of scabs in there, a bunch of just another few guys, or guys off the bench or wherever. Good job by them to get it done. Herbert, 3rd and 16 from the shotgun at the Steeler 45. Trips left. He drops back, steps, plants. He steps up in the pocket. He's under pressure, and Herbert's going to go down, and their forward progress right there to be a sack. Looks like TJ Watt's going to get a sack there, and that's just going to pad the stats, but he hasn't been called all day long. He's had a couple of measly pressures here and there, but he is going to get credit for a sack there as Khalil Mack looks on and goes, about time he did something. I haven't called his name all game. Where has he been? Doesn't that guy make like $50 million a year? What has he been doing? Well, he's been getting double blocked the entire game. That's what he's been doing. As he comes off, and it's going to be a punt now. And we haven't seen this punter for a while outside of the first quarter where he had 4 or 5 punts. It's been a minute. So 6.5 minutes now. Rodgers going to get another chance. Let's see if he can't get something going, fight some kind of comeback here. And now here we go. We're going to get a look at TJ Watt and his brother JJ, who never found a camera. JJ Watt always knows where the camera is, and he always knows that it will be on him, even to this day. I'll just stop talking about him. 4th and 19, 6:35 left in the game. All but a foregone conclusion at this point. Chargers about ready to kick it back to the Steelers here from midfield. Steelers up at the line. Let's see if they bring the heat. They do, but the kick is away. Nice high kick. Fair catch called for, and he pops it. Oh my God. And he muffs the punt at the 20, and the Chargers are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And if you're Mike Tomlin at this point, you really just have to wonder what the hell is going on. Where is that special teams coach? Here we go. Here we go. It is 8 and under women's, girls soccer time, selfie time. As number 85 comes up, we're not even going to say his name because this was so bad. Calls for the fair catch, and we don't really know what he's doing. But if you're going to call for the fair catch, you have to catch a damn ball, okay? 20-yard line, again, not acceptable. So where's the World War II veteran with his chaw, his red man, who was running around pumping his fists everywhere? Because this is on him too, because that's his guy. And where's he? We saw a special teams coach get fired on Monday for the Raiders. I mean, where's this guy? There's a penalty on every special teams play. Here we go. You think 8-year-old girls soccer is cool? You haven't seen anything yet. As that guy goes to the sideline, Aaron Rodgers just putting holes in everyone's chest with his eyes, laser beams. Herbert under center, single back is Vidal, 6.25 left. Sends a man in motion, drops him back in to the backfield. Quick throw, nope. And it's going to be a draw to Vidal, and he's going to be stuffed right there. And Hayward's not having it, and just puts him down for a loss of a couple. As we just get more looks at Aaron Rodgers, and you can just see steam coming out of his ears. Can't say I blame him because it's been a pretty sloppy game for the Steelers today, and that's kind of been around the clock. Defense has been on the field a lot. Good job by the Chargers in the second half, but the offense for the Steelers just didn't get anything going. And Aaron Rodgers, he made a couple of bad throws as Jim Harbaugh looks on and is asking the booth up top to help him see because he can't see a damn thing through those glasses. Second down, handoff up the middle, stuffed again in the backfield. And now they're just crashing the line hardcore because they know there's no throw coming, and they're just going to chew the clock as Vidal loses a couple more yards. 5:30 left now. As Harbaugh walks on and continues to mouth breathe And not really sure what that's about either. He's sucking wind over there, big fella. Kind of worried about old Coach Harbaugh. He's aging on me pretty quick here. 3rd and 15, as we're just about 5 minutes now. Herbert under center, jumbo formation, sends a man in motion to the left, I form. Here comes a snap. The handoff goes to Vidal again. He cuts it over to the left. He's got 2 or 3, and he's going to be wrapped up right there. That'll stop the threat. And you got to imagine Dicker, the kicker, is going to come out for another field goal as we get some Harbaugh family photos now. And, we really don't need this either. Yeah, this doesn't really do much for us. As Collinsworth is starting to do his best Gavin Newsom impression and talk with his hands and do all this other crap that means absolutely nothing. And Chris Collinsworth's only redeeming quality is the fact that he played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And outside of that, he is absolutely useless to me. Mike Tirico laughs and goes, "Yeah, I've only got 5 minutes left with you, man. I'm just about out of here." As he looks on in amazement and just laughs. 22-3 here, Dicker. He was good from 59 and 32 and missed from 55. Here comes a 42-yarder here. Hold is good, and he pushes it out to the right, and he draws it in there again. Nice job. Thought he was going to push that one out too far. It's going to be 25-3 now. I mean, still a 3-score game. I guess it could happen. I imagine the New York Giants could find a way to lose this game. I don't know if the Jim Harbaugh Chargers are. As we get a look at Jim Harbaugh, really excited about a 59-yard field goal there. Maybe he thought it was something else. Maybe he just can't see, and he thought that was something else. Anyway, we're almost done here, folks. We're going to step aside for some commercials. Hang tight. We'll be back. We're back, friends, as we get a look at some lowlights for Aaron Rodgers. As tonight, just not a great night for him or the Steelers. He didn't look great. The offense didn't look great. You got to tip your cap to the Steelers or Charger defense for doing their part. And Greg Roman, too, for calling a good game. The offensive line held up for the Chargers, and they were the better team. I don't think there's any question about that. As the kick goes deep into the end zone, it'll be kneeled there, and that'll bring Aaron Rodgers out. As now we're going to get some lowlights here as he rolls in the pocket and just gets crushed. And he had some happy feet a little bit, but there was pressure on him throughout the night. Right there, he overthrew Metcalf. That's on him. Steps up in the pocket, rolls out to the left, and that ball, tough play. Here again, rolls out of the pocket. Bad throw. They didn't show the safety where he rolled right into pressure or the interception, the one that was on him. But quick pass here. That one is complete. And that's Calvin Austin. They're going to hurry it up here. 25-3, Chargers on top. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left, fourth quarter. Rodgers trying to hurry it up and at least salvage something, his dignity at the very least. 2nd and 4, takes a snap, quick throw out to the left to Freiermuth, who just barrels someone over. And man, oh man, you do not want a big man like that bearing down on you, because that's what happened, and you will look like a highlight reel as he just trucked that guy. Tough play there for number 26, although he did have the interception earlier. Rodgers hurrying up. They're across midfield now at the 44. Tight formation here. Metcalf over to the left. Rodgers takes a snap, steps up. He's under pressure, and he goes down. That's going to be grounding, and he gets smashed on the ground again. No flag. And Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his career is not getting flags. Because, again, if that's Pat Mahomes, that is going to be roughing the passer. He just got tossed to the ground like a rag doll. And let's see it again. Yes, and Harbaugh says that's grounding, and he's right, because it was grounding. Because he threw it right into the ground. It's either grounding or a sack, but he needs to call it. That's a terrible call. He says he threw the ball. Okay, he's in the pocket. He surveys the field. He looks right. Pressure comes immediately. And who is he throwing it to? It doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. There's no one in the vicinity. And handed to this guy and just crashes him down and just tosses him to the ground like a rag doll. And Aaron Rodgers' 40-year-old body cannot handle that type of abuse. Terrible missed call by the refs, but wouldn't be the first. 2nd and 10, 4:03 left. Trips to the right. Rodgers throws out to the right. It's caught there by Austin. He steps out. Incomplete. Didn't get 2 feet in, and they just cannot do anything right. Calvin Austin's had himself a hell of a bad game today. And so is Aaron Rodgers. 3rd and 10 now. 3:59 left. And at this point, if you're a Steelers fan, you just want to stop the bleeding and get the hell out of there. As Rodgers is just literally falling apart. 5-3, they're going to be 5-4, and the Ravens are 1 game back, and they better look out. Tomlin still has indigestion. This team better look out, because they are on the ropes. For a first place team, this is about as bad as you can look. 5 wide receivers now, shotgun, 3rd and 10. Rodgers barks out the play. Here it comes, takes a snap, steps up, throws to the left, and it's caught there by Metcalf. He's going to have a first down. Nice job. And where's that been all game? 2nd catch of the day for the guy that you pay big coin to. Get him the ball. I mean, I'm not a general manager. I am not a play caller or anything of that sort. I don't play football. But you pay that guy a lot of money, get him the damn ball. As Harbaugh looks on and says, what's going on out there? Herbert just did his hair on the sideline, and Rodgers, 5 wide receivers, 3:55 now. They're at the 33-yard line. Takes a snap, hangs tight in the pocket, throws out to the left to Gainwell, who's tackled right there. Clock is going to run. That's only going to be a 2-yard gain. Guessing that wasn't what they looked for, because that doesn't really do much. 2nd and 8 now. Hayward on the sideline looking on, says, get me out of here. Shotgun, Gainwell in the backfield, trips 4 wide receivers. Rodgers, quick pass again. This one goes to Jonnu Smith, and he's tackled right there. Nice tackling. Deion Henley there. As Rodgers calls a play, they're hurrying up. 3 1/4 left. 3rd down. 3rd and short. Rodgers needs something, and all they have, look at Metcalf, 3 catches, 35 yards. Not good enough. 4 wide receivers. Rodgers' clock is ticking. 3:07, 3:05. Takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, throws a slant play. It looks like it's Wilson up the middle. He's going to get through, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Roman Wilson gets in. And where's that guy been all night? Little slant play, no celebration, and you like to see that. It's about time a guy scored a touchdown and didn't celebrate when they're getting their ass kicked. He is one of few. Rodgers trots off the field because he knows this game is well in hand. But it's a 29-yard touchdown pass. Roman Wilson working on a little post route, hits him right in stride, and good job blocking up field by Jonnu Smith there, but no safety up top to help. It's going to make it 25 now to 9 as we're awaiting the snap. Here comes the hold. The kick is up, and it's good. It's 25-10. And again, I'm sure the New York Giants could find a way to lose this game. I'm guessing the Chargers won't. but there probably will be an onside kick. I mean, Pittsburgh's got no timeouts left as Herbert comes over to talk to Keenan Allen and say, "Where you been all day?" And now Mike Tirico is going to tell us about how much patience he has left for Chris Collinsworth in his terrible analysis. And it's like, this much, Chris, just about this much. It was last week, the week before. And now I just don't know how much longer I can really take this with you. And you're really getting on my last nerve. But we're here together. And Collinsworth stares on and says, "Yeah, well, I'm trying, Mike. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm trying." Tirico says, "It's okay. It's okay. I know that you're not great, but I'm just telling you, it's important you understand how I feel." And Collinsworth leans in with some Gavin Newsom-esque hand movement and says, "I really am working on this." And Mike Tirico says, "Well, we'll see. We'll see." As Rodgers shakes his head in disgust, but at least he got another touchdown pass, which will follow him into the Hall of Fame. And Jalen Ramsey looks on and says, "Well, at least I can't get cooked anymore." So 25-10 here, just inside 3 minutes left. The onside kick is incoming for the Steelers as Boswell prepares. And you never know. Let's see. Maybe they can recover one. They could show us the percentages on how much these are successful. I'm guessing it's under 10% for the entire season, but you never do know. Here it comes. Little bouncer, and it's caught right there, and that's going to do it. No timeouts left for the Steelers. Keenan Allen on the hands team. At least he got that. That's his best catch of the day. As Herbert walks out. And at this point, we're just going to run clock and just get on out of here. As we get a look up at the Chargers general manager. And we are just awaiting the last few plays here. As Herbert's going to take it out of the shotgun. He's got Vidal still in there. Sends Keenan Allen in motion. And Keenan Allen takes the run. And he cuts it upfield. And he's got about 8 or 9 yards. And maybe they're trying to say, hey, how are we going to have a game without Keenan Allen getting some points in here? And everyone seems to love it. And they're coming over and giving him big celebration now. As that'll be, I guess it was a pass because it was a forward pass. So that'll be a catch for Keenan Allen. And it looks like he just passed Antonio Gates for the most receptions in Chargers history. And that's pretty cool. And why not? There you go. A little pop pass to him. He takes it and he's got about 8 or 9 yards there. And now he is the Chargers all-time leading receiving record holder. And that's pretty cool because Keenan Allen's a hell of a good player. Antonio Gates was a hell of a good player. And why not? That's pretty neat. Good for him. There you go. Something to celebrate now. As they are going to celebrate that on the sideline. And we are just about done here for this game, which, again, turned out to be another kind of a dud on a primetime game. Maybe we'll get a good one here pretty soon. Lot of jewelry over there on the sideline. 2-minute warning here. As we get a preview of next Sunday night, and that looks like that could be a good game there. Detroit and Philadelphia got some NFC powerhouse teams. That looks like a good game. And we'll be definitely tuning in for that one because that could be an NFC title preview there. Because truth be told, the NFC, I mean, there's some pretty darn good teams there. The Rams are solid. The Seahawks look like they're a pretty good team too. Of course, you have Detroit and Philly. I don't think Tampa Bay's, I mean, they'll be there, but maybe they could surprise someone, maybe. I mean, and what else? What else do you got? Green Bay, perhaps, maybe Green Bay. As Tomlin is just yelling at the referees and just saying, "Do you know how many chili dogs I ate at halftime?" And everyone over there is having a good time with Keenan Allen, and why not? Congratulations. Not every day you set a franchise record for receptions. That's pretty cool. Jumbo formation now, as they're all but done here. Shotgun for Herbert. Calls out the play, takes a snap. Handoff goes to Vidal over the left-hand side. He cuts it back to the right, and he's met in the backfield, and he's just going to be stuffed. And they're going to pick him up, and we're just going to grind it down here. And the Chargers are going to improve to 7-3 as Rodgers is bent, and he is not happy. And Rodgers is all alone over there on the sideline, and I'm guessing he'll be alone on the sideline for the remainder of the year. Because you call him sir, or you call him nothing. Okay? Keenan Allen comes back in the game. Not entirely sure why. 3rd and 5, a minute and 27 now. First down here will all but end this game. And why not just throw it deep to Keenan Allen now? Let him just toast Joey Porter over the top to help my fantasy team, but we know that's not going to happen. And the handoff goes to Vidal. And he gets 2 or 3, and he's got a first down, and that's going to do it. And that's exactly how this game should end, because the Steelers just got their ass kicked, and that's just a poor effort, and that's it. We're inside 1 minute now, and the final in this game is going to be 25-10, Chargers over the Steelers. Nice solid win for the Chargers at home, beating a quasi contender in the Pittsburgh Steelers. As Keenan Allen trots off the field, might want to lock that necklace up, my man. Not sure why you're wearing that on a football field. Victory formation for the Chargers here. Herbert takes a knee. That's going to do it. And like I said, Pittsburgh Steelers might want to take a look in the mirror because they're getting damn near to losing their spot on top of the AFC North with the Baltimore Ravens coming at you. Keenan Allen sets the record. Chargers are going to win this one. As Coach Harbaugh is heading off to the optometrist to get himself a new prescription. Comes over to shake Mike Tomlin's hand and says, "Porta potty's that way, big man." As Keenan Allen's going to get interviewed, and we don't really care what he has to say about that, but congratulations nonetheless. Thanks for tuning in to the Blue Collar Broadcast. Wasn't a great game, but it was a game. Probably be back for Thursday Night Football. That ought to be a terrible game. We might have to skip that. It's going to be the Jets and the Patriots, and I imagine that might be a first half game. That could be really, really bad. Anyway, thanks for coming through, friends, and listening to the Blue Collar Broadcast. NFL Sunday Night Football. Take care now, and bye-bye.